Viewer discretion is advised.
Whoa, I think I did that right. Hey, happy Thursday. You're listening and or watching Pwnecast. This is episode 210. Holy crap, guys. 210. Where does the time go? We are currently in patch 7.3.5. Tonight, guys, you're going to be really excited because I finally got off my lazy arse and actually scheduled guests again. Yay! Clap, slow clap, all those things. Sorry you guys have had to suffer with just Rem and I for the last month. I don't really have any excuses except to say busy, busy, busy. But for tonight's show, you can expect the following, not necessarily in this order. We got some BFA talk. Lore from Rem. Maybe it's going to be good. Maybe it's going to be bad. Maybe it's going to put me to sleep. Maybe it's going to wake me up. We don't really know what's going to happen. There may or may not be a bell rant. I'm going to try to behave myself just because we have a guest and sometimes I have to be on good behavior. And finally, I plan on picking Bay's brain for some BFA discussion. And I also plan on asking the tough journalism questions that everybody wants to know. Yeah, just kidding. I'm not Katie Couric. It's probably just going to be like, what's your favorite taco? Because, you know, you guys know Belle. That's what we do. So grab a drink, secure your kids and or animals, and enjoy this high quality intro to like stimulate you visually. I just really wanted to say stimulate, guys. Don't judge me.
You have crossed into the world of the dead in search of answers.
Amongst the Azeroth elite, there are those who defy convention, the proud who laugh in the face of trolls and never flinch, the few who strive on unity, trust, and unwavering resolve, they who eat tacos. For the players, by the players, we bring you. She can start a revolt with a chaos bolt, Belle the Pwnecast Vanguard. Through light and darkness, he commands the void, remedies the sage lore master. We bow to no one. We are Legion. We are Pwnecast.
Hey guys, this is Bajira, and you are live with Pwnecast.
I'm getting the hang of this technology thing again, guys. We're not new this week. We're like almost new, but not totally new. I suppose I should unmute these fine gentlemen that I have with me. If you guys are new to Pwnecast, my name is Belle. With me is my co-host with the green shirt most. I didn't really prepare anything. Like, the one from last week was in there, and I felt like I couldn't use that because you guys would know I used it last week already. So, yeah. You know, it's Rem, guys. This is my partner in crime and my...
Hello, is this on?
Yeah, oh yeah, it's on. He's also my arch enemy, just in case you guys weren't aware. We're like, you know, that whole age-old...
We're like Pinky in the Brain. She's trying to make master plans, and I'm just ruining them.
Actually, that's pretty accurate. We're going to go with that this week. For tonight's show, I have brought with us the final boss on TV. Oh, wait. Nope.
Who's that? What?
Okay, so it's not the final boss on TV. I'm pretty sure I have that wrong. I mean, are we really surprised here? I did bring Bay from Final Boss TV to help teach us scrubs how to play World of Warcraft. Because, guys, we need help.
I don't know about classifying yourself as scrubs. I don't know if you saw my wipe count on Mythic Argus, though, but...
Yeah, but you have a wipe count on Mythic Argus. I have a wipe count on heroic content. That's it.
Hey, everyone plays this game at different levels, all right? Different, you know, tiers of enjoyment and time, all right? We're not going to fight about it, but hi.
So,
my name's...
So does he remind you of the Bay?
I mean, you can get them all out. Do you have any more, Rem? You can just keep going. I'll just wait. You know,
it's kind of funny though.
Get it all out. I'll just, you know.
Earlier, when I was doing the show notes, I was finding different songs that had the word bae, as in, like, you know, when you call your significant other bae. Well, I don't, but other people. I probably went through 4 or 5 or maybe 6 or 7 different songs in my head as I was doing the show notes. I'm not mature, guys. I don't pretend to be. How often do 2 people do that to you?
Well, I'm sorry. I thought you'd be excited that I used a Labyrinth reference. So
no, the so that obviously the jokes and the memes write themselves, and I can't make the stuff up because it's too true. But no, I've had this name way before that slang came about. But obviously the whole like Bay is Bay thing should be a bumper sticker, and I probably am missing out on opportunities for monetization on additional.
Yeah, I feel like that's taco money right there.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
But no, I've had this name since Star Wars Galaxies, so I don't even know how long it's been. I was
a long time.
a wee lad in high school, so yeah, more than half my life.
17, 20 years, yeah. Well,
That's pretty awesome, actually. Do you ever, and this is really unofficial before we really start like the meat and potatoes of the show. I like saying
this is all on the record. It's all on the record.
Yeah, this is on the record. But do you ever find that you answer to your, game life name more than you answer to your regular, birth name?
I suppose it depends on who's saying it and in what context it comes out in. Because a lot of people that know me and, have gone to conventions or whatever and have that sort of relationship with me, they just call me Bay, right? But, and then obviously my parents and like real life friends, like the two of them that I have.
I was going to say, what are real life friends? Because we don't own those. Like Rem and I have another one and the rest of them are internet friends. Right.
Hey, don't steal that. It's copyright infringement. All right. No, I'm just kidding. That's my line. But no, I don't know. It seems that there's a teeter-totter where sometimes my real name feels more serious now when anyone uses that instead of calling me Bay, because I've had the name for more than half my life. But I don't know. I don't think it goes back and forth. But I went to PAX East recently, and everyone there just called me Bay, which is just my internet name. It's not my real name, but it's just so synonymous now that when someone actually calls me, "Hey, Adam," like I just like zone out and don't even hear it. They're like, Adam. Oh, so
it's what I do when my husband uses my real name and not my internet name. I just use it as a means to ignore him when he's talking to me about something I don't want to talk about.
I don't know if I'm going that far with it. I don't have. Okay. But
no, I find that I don't. I guess because we're so online that the real name is in rare instances. So it's one of those things where I'm so comfortable with that being, and of course everybody makes the assumption that Belle is, from Disney princesses.
But it is.
Clearly people who know me know I'm not about that Disney princess life because that's the opposite of my personality. But it is in fact short for my original name that I actually had to change because everybody shortened my original name to Belle anyway. So it just made more sense to just cut the rest of it out and go with the flow. I think it's kind of funny how we just get used to having that. It's not even a second identity. It's just a second name.
Yep.
So I call Rem sometimes. And then when I'm really pissed at him, it's Donovan and he knows I'm mad. Right?
No.
No? That's not what happens? Oh.
I mean, maybe in game, but not. No, it's really weird because long story short, her brother and my name is a lot alike our government names. So I'm either Donovan, Dom, or Rem. So pick one.
I do occasionally mix their names together because he actually lives with my brother. He moved to Arizona recently and my brother needed a roommate and he needed a roommate. And they're very similar in personality. They both have that real dry sense of humor that I love, right? I love them both dearly. But on occasion, especially if I'm like really mad or frustrated, I just meld their names together. Just like, one of you. I don't know which one it is, but it's one of you. I love that he said government name.
I was gonna bring that up. I was gonna like. It's really overly officializing the fact that your birth parents gave you.
I was gonna say I feel like the government didn't give you that name. I feel like your mom gave you that name.
Yeah.
Well, there's like a 33% chance it's either gonna be Devin, Donovan, or something else. So I mean,
at least you're not dickhead because that starts with a D. I should message your mom and see if she wants to make that official. Actually.
Too late. I have my birth certificate. Okay.
We can always change that. Just saying. Possible. All right, guys. For the I don't know why I have Boy, guys, I just screwed up everything this week. Guys, I'm not at my best this week. But for May 17th's reset, which is next week, so Tuesday, it's going to be the World Quest bonus event. Guys, don't be like me. Don't go do all of your emissaries when you log in and not pick up the quest.
Yeah, you're like 10 down. You're like, oh, I don't have the quest.
Just know that on Tuesday, set Siri or Alexa, not you, Alexa, or I should mute.
Probably should.
Now she's talking back to me. This is what happens when you let technology take over your life. She sasses you.
Skynet, yeah.
I had to mute her. That's what you do when you don't want girls to talk to you.
You don't have a mute button though, so that's kind of a problem.
It's not that easy sometimes. Just put that out there.
It's true. I haven't, somebody said cat packs. I feel like I want to use Alexa for random things, but occasionally I do go downstairs and I hear my sons asking, because we have the show downstairs in the kitchen, and I hear my sons asking the most weirdest questions. And I can't even be mad because they're inquisitive and, you know, they want to know about things like, what are the soles of shoes made of was a question, which is weird.
Not gingers. Weird
for an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old for that.
What?
For that to be there. Like, yeah, of all questions.
Well, it's like there's this meme that went, well, not only a meme, but an image went around where there's a little girl was asking if she donated her hair, like what would happen if her hair ended up at a crime scene? Like, would she become prosecuted? Or what?
It's actually a very valid and logical question.
But she's like 8 asking those questions. She's going far.
Oh. She's going to be a millionaire because it's those kinds of folks that, you know, they really, I was eating paint at 8, like, and peeling glue from the palms of my hands at recess. Like, I was not doing anything remotely smart at 8.
No, you huff the paint and.
No, that was in high school.
No, the hand peeling glue thing, I'm right there with you. I would give you the highest 5s right now. That was the stuff.
Yeah, it's so satisfying to just, I can't even, it's one of those things where I get stuck watching those videos where they have like the kinetic sand, or they have the molds where it's like a 15-minute just back to back of all this really satisfying, weird. Okay, guys, I need a therapist. So before we go deeper into Dr. Phil's mind labyrinth here, yes,
you're not a monster.
World Quest, guys, be mindful. Don't be like me and forget to pick up your quest because you're going to cry about it. The good news is you have a whole week to do it, and there's more than enough World Quests to get stuff done. And you get stuff. I think, what is it? I know you get an additional... What? Don't you get resources, right? Or garrison resources? I don't know why
you said the G word.
I did say the G word. You know why? Because I still use my garrison every day. I use it for the auction house, so I'm still like in my garrison. Yeah, we spent a lot of hard work farming the parts for that auction house. Yep. So I feel like I really need to use it.
Or you become smart and just become an engineer and use the one in Dalaran.
Stop that. Ugh. What else do engineers have besides that? I'd rather just go back to my garrison.
There's the mounts. Yeah. There's the rocket boots. There's the goblin glider. I use that shit.
The problem with engineering is it's very select and situational, and only if you're into that kind of thing. I did consider it, but it just doesn't do, especially being a warlock, it doesn't do anything for me.
I have it on my priest. Like, hello?
But here's the kicker. Does your engineering access to the auction house also play the totems of the Grizzlemaw when you hearth back to it? Exactly.
No.
Yeah, because that jukebox is pretty fancy. And
yeah.
Also, there's the decorations. And it's festive. Right now, I'm not going to lie, there's still Christmas.
Is it Halloween or is it Christmas?
It's still Christmas. I like to go back in there and see all the Christmas stuff, and I get in the holiday spirit, and I hearth out, and I log out in my inn in front of the fire. I'm hopeless, guys. It's ridiculous. Yes, there's still Christmas decorations up there right now. They missed an opportunity allowing other holiday decorations there. I just want to point that out. I feel like they could have...
You're like my grandmother. She has like a box for each holiday. It's like, oh, let's put the Valentine stuff up. Oh, it's St. Patrick's.
Well, what's funny is I don't do any of that stuff in real life. Like, we have a few
I know.
Christmas stuff, just like the
It's
outside, but I
funny.
don't do any of that stuff in real life, which is, I guess that's the purpose of gaming, is you live a different life online. The brawl for next week's reset is Shadowpan Showdown. I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure.
Oh, that's the
That's
Panda Land Arena, and you go up against I think it's like 6 or more other people on the other team, and you have to sit inside the circle and you put points toward the big guy, and you have
it's
to kill
Tiger's
the other
Peak,
one.
right?
Yeah,
Isn't it Tiger's Peak?
Yes.
It is Tiger's
It's
Peak, right? I hope
it's
I'm not wrong.
interesting, but it's not as fun as like Warsong Scramble or anything like that, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's definitely not on my list of favorites. Like, I think, what did we decide? Temple of Hot Magoo, I think, is one of my favorites.
Oh, the hot potato.
Yeah, and the Arathi Blizzard, but it's not on my list of favorite ones. Oh, and the arena, the
Nothing's below the dunking one, so it's all good.
that's such a waste of development time. I love you, Blizzard developers, but geez, that is like, I don't even, okay, so I'm going to offend people, but it's like everybody who did not eat their Wheaties in the morning decides to queue for that one, and nobody knows what they're doing, where they're going, and when you try to give some kind of direction in chat, you get, your DPS is the lowest, bruh. I don't have to listen to you. Okay, well, I mean, I'm just saying, my DPS is the lowest because I'm getting farmed, so.
Oh goodness.
Objectives are hard.
I
guys.
know.
Yeah.
Words are hard. Words really are hard. Also, guys, I want you to know that a very important bug fix that all the players were super concerned about was fixed on May 4th, and that was the bug that was allowing players to trade personal loot items that should not have been tradable because their character...
Or they should have just kept that
Right,
change.
that's why I'm
and-
like, they said it as if, don't worry guys, we got you, we fixed it. But I don't know that anybody was necessarily complaining about that because I think we're at a stage of the expansion and even the game where I'm an adult and you should let me decide what piece I want to trade in a group that I'm running with because I'm an adult. I put on my underwear on my own. Okay, yeah, I do. I pay my own bills. I should be able to decide if I want to give that away if you're giving me the personal loot option. I feel like you shouldn't tell me what to do with my gear.
Well,
in a
that's
group.
sort of Blizzard's back and forth, and a lot of their philosophies in game design over the years have always been sort of that it's like maybe an 80-20, the 80%, the larger majority being that they want to dictate how you play their game. So, because it's a theme park, not a sandbox.
It's
so,
true. I don't understand. The personal loot thing I love. I love the personal loot. I'm not a Mythic Raider, and I think when it comes to loot stuff, that really largely affects them because to me, as a little guy raider, we're just heroic. I like personal loot. It's easy. I don't have to deal with a lot of loot council drama. I don't have to play God with the gear. We could just go through, do stuff, and if, we have 2 warlocks in the group and one already has, I get it's a good setup for me in terms of just functionality when you're just trying to get in and get out and do things.
Yeah.
But I don't understand why they say, okay, it's personal loot and you can trade this item with people in your group, but only if the rules apply.
Yep.
I think they should just trust us. I mean, we do a lot of things as adults and we do them very well. Some not all the things, but I mean,
I nap really well. So
like I wipe
Same.
my own ass.
Same.
Can I please decide who I want
I
to
wipe
give
my own ass.
my personal loot to? So, guys, it's showtime.
after show, I'm reminding you to turn that shit off.
Arizona doesn't.
Hashtag team stand, by the way. Just putting that out there.
What is it? What did you say?
I said hashtag team stand
Team stand.
because you brought up the wiping your ass
I did.
discussion.
Oh. It's more like hashtag team.
You'd think I would have changed the
Why?
alarm. Arizona doesn't change time, so it's still back on
Oh,
whatever. Arizona doesn't respect the laws of man. Like, we don't have to listen to the laws. We don't do anything we don't want to do. So we don't change times, but I have to change the times according to Eastern and all that stuff. Otherwise, the show's at 5 in the morning. Yeah, so on that note, guys, if you feel the same way I do regarding personal loot and it being our choice, I feel like I should go to the forums and maybe tell them that I do, in fact, wipe my own ass.
Be careful about that because it'll end up in a Talias and Evitel video if you do that. You gotta be careful.
Yeah, and they'll also ban you because I have been banned once before for being very...
Oh, okay.
I was very logical I had
You
a
said
multi.
fuck like 5 times.
Okay, there was cuss words in there, but it wasn't like at them. It's just how it's natural. It's a natural part of my conversation.
Just adjectives.
Yes,
exactly.
and especially when I'm super passionate and emotioned about something. But I had really great. Everything was in there that they needed for just pulling apart and saying, okay, she has really good arguments. Here's the reason why. It was in regards to Warlords of Draenor and what they did to Destruction Warlock, which was basically unusable.
Well, obviously they didn't listen.
I mean, we're all right now, but for a better part of the expansion, we were pretty much useless in every avenue unless you, like, you know, snorted a line right before you did raid, and then you were somewhere, at least not the bottom, but maybe you were like 4th. But it was really difficult.
So a line of Coke and then a line of Adderall.
Right. It was just really hard to finesse DPS. But yeah, they banned me because I said cuss words. I'm like, but it was a really good post. Did you at least read it? So I got a 24-hour ban. But yeah, you have to be careful. Anything you say on the internet anyway, you're already going to get, even though a million people agree with you, they're going to disagree with you just because it's the internet. That's what we do, guys.
That's trade chat is like a mini form of the internet. Like you go on Reddit, you go on anything.
I wouldn't know.
It's the same exact thing.
I don't see trade chat ever. I haven't seen trade chat.
Oh, I'm one of the people in trade chat that fuck with people.
I don't need any of that.
Terrible.
I give logical information and I help people, but at the same time, I also troll the
Yeah,
trolls.
but I don't need to know about anal in trade chat. So it brings no value to my life. If I need to know about that, I can Google it.
But
I don't need anybody to tell
is like
me.
the best thing
It's
to say
so
on
bizarre.
trade chat.
It's like the weirdest subject, and it's always in trade chat, no matter what server, and it's so weird.
And if you're on a rogue, you can do anal repost.
It's so weird. Damn it. Okay, guys. So everybody knows the first round of BlizzCon ticket sales happened.
Oh, yeah.
Enter all the new people on the internet who are brand new, and the same thing that's happened every single year. You know, you have to be on top of it. You know that your odds, you know, you have to be vigilant in your ticket situation. So everybody's pissed off. Some guy said to do a lottery. I cannot imagine a time when Blizzard would ever do a lottery for their tickets, because did you get tickets? Did you even bother? Did you try? Are you cool enough to where you don't have to worry about tickets?
There it was. There's the
I don't have to worry about them, so I assume you probably are the same, but I still do it anyway just because I like the feeling of regret and disappointment and rejection.
No, yeah. So I get a media and a +1, and I have for a few years now. But I still need to make sure that I went to go get tickets to hope some of my viewers out there are going to be going and staying at the house or renting and all that kind of stuff to make sure we have like a community amount of them. But I didn't get any. I had 4 tabs locked in, like as my clock changed over to the right time, and then they all timed out, and also they were all gone. So, but a few other people that are in my group got a handful. So we'll try again on Saturday. And then, you know, a month or 2 from now anyway, the LFG BlizzCon website's going to pop up with a whole bunch of, you know, 1-to-1 resales that they just can't go because they'll buy them and they just, you know.
And also the BlizzCon group itself has a...
Yeah, the BlizzCon 2018 group, which is something I'm admin of. Another fellow admin, which is... I don't really know what name she's going by, so I'm just going to call her by, as Rem says, her government name. Elkie is the one that
Wait, I thought Elkie was her gaming... I'm confused.
I don't know. Elkie's her real name. I, too, thought it was her gaming name.
Elkie, Plum, WD, and...
Yeah, I don't know. But she is the one that takes care of the... does all the stuff for the Looking for BlizzCon. She does a really good job. And, guys, it's going to be okay. If you didn't get tickets this round, you have Saturday. If you still didn't get tickets, join the BlizzCon 2018 group on Facebook. There will be a pin post probably within like 24 hours after the second set of ticket sales. And that pin post will have a spreadsheet that you can sign up for. And as tickets become available, we connect the 2 sets of people to, you know, come together and
right now
do their stuff. So yeah, I did the same. I have a group of people that buy multiple, that buy the max tickets so that we can make sure that everybody gets what they need.
Yeah.
I mean, plan B is probably better anyway, because you have the virtual ticket, so you can see the opening ceremony now, you can see everything else, and you can sit in your hotel room while watching all this and day drink. So Who's
Well,
really winning?
the person that's at the ice cream
That one's a
vendor.
different place.
The person that's at the ice cream vendor inside the convention center, because that's who's
Again,
really winning.
that's one of the only arguments that I'll say, like, I have to go in the convention
Yeah,
center.
because the
Is,
ice cream's delicious. Absolutely delicious.
you know about the ice cream stall, yeah?
Bae, I hope you've been to the ice cream stall.
Is there like a particular one that
Well,
I'm pretty
they
sure
have
it's
several. They're just like they're placed, kind of where all the other like your
It's in between
espresso
like Hall
vendor.
C and Hall B,
Okay.
Yeah,
and it has like I don't know the taster,
they
but it's
take
like
regular ice cream and they take the flavor, which my favorite's green apple because it's got like a zing to it, and it's like a twist, so
It's
it's,
like a
striped
syrup,
with the flavor.
inside of it. It's really weird, but it's so tasty.
Delicious.
Huh.
Yeah. I hit that vendor up every time I pass by there, which you could imagine is probably a lot, especially since I get lost like I do in dungeons. I equally get lost in the convention center, and I probably eat an ice cream maybe 6 or 7 times.
No, I went at least like maybe
In one day?
Yeah, don't judge me, okay? Don't judge. But yes, it's an obsession, honestly. It's like
ice cream and coconut truck. Win-win.
It's delicious, but they have a ton of different flavors, and I don't know what it is about them. I think it's because they like mix the flavor when they do the cone, because it's a cone, and since
Okay.
it's not all just the one flavor in the cone, you're not overwhelmed with a ton of sugar and too much sweet and too much flavor. It's really Guys, we're giving you the real life important information about BlizzCon, and that's the ice cream vendor.
And day drinking.
And day drinking, which is
Well, I
equally important.
Not even gonna lie, I day drank the whole week of BlizzCon.
I'm not sober a good portion. Well, I'm sober before DitchCon. During DitchCon, I was a little more sober last year.
Yeah.
Because the DitchCon prior to that, I don't have a lot of memory of. I was nervous, guys. It was our first party, and I didn't know how it was going to go. So I drank a lot right before the doors opened, and it was a good day.
Broke her foot, guys. Almost. Pretty much.
Oh gosh.
I did. It was man, guys. We're going to make it, though. Okay. Saturday is your next opportunity. Don't panic. Guys, please don't buy tickets off eBay. If you're buying tickets off eBay, you're part of the problem. And I mean that in a really nice way. I know that there's some of you that are like, if I don't have a ticket, I'm going to die. Honestly, guys, we can't really shut them down. There's not really, I mean, I know it's against Blizzard's terms of service, but I mean, how...
Supply and demand.
Blizzard's gonna, there's not really a whole lot Blizzard could do because it's always going to be a thing. There's going to be people that are doing it. So don't pay over face value for a ticket. Just don't. Because why? Why pay over face value for a convention for 2 days that you could spend the whole week doing other stuff? And there's creative ways to be able to see some stuff that you want to be able to see inside the convention. It's not that serious, but please don't eBay. And if you're one of the eBay people and you're watching this, I don't even have to tell you because I'm killing you in my mind right now. And it's very creative the way that I'm killing you, by the way. Yeah, don't pay over face value for the ticket.
Yeah, scalping and all that stuff is wild. Well, I got back to the PAX East thing. There were people that were outside trying to like buy badges off people right in line of like the security, and can't do anything about
I
it.
know you're going into this convention, but
Yeah.
can I just buy your badge?
Yeah, like they would like double and triple the price just to go in, which is so weird. Like, is there anything even in PAX you really need to go see? Not against PAX. It was great. It was fun.
If you want to pay 3 times more, I would give you my badge right away.
Well,
I just don't. It was weird.
Realistically, there's, I don't know how many days is PAX.
So PAX was technically 4 days.
4 days. So, okay, well, for BlizzCon's sake, I don't really care about all the things all the time. I'm very situational. I care about World of Warcraft, and I care about World of Warcraft. That's pretty much all I care about as far as seeing something being there. Everything else I can watch later because I have the ticket. I can watch whatever I want later. But anything World of Warcraft related, opening ceremony, of course, and, you know, that kind of stuff. I don't really need to pay $900 to see bits and pieces of stuff that matters when you're sitting there. Obviously, any championship there, whether it's Hearthstone or whatever your get down is when it comes to Blizzard games, watching that stuff live is bar none the best experience ever. It doesn't matter. I've watched Hearthstone stuff, and Here's the Storm stuff that I casually play, but I mean, I was into it and I had no idea what was going on, but I was like, everybody was vibing and screaming and like the casters were on point and I was really
Well, that's
happy.
the cool thing about StarCraft. Like I played StarCraft when it first came out, but
insane. StarCraft
and
is
like
insane.
I've always loved StarCraft, but like in terms of competitive play, I'm like, there's a lot of units. I don't know what the hell's going on, but it's so hyped up. Like you just like, I'm having fun. You've got to unmute yourself.
Of course I did. Guys, I knew I was doing that. The only thing I've seen crowd-wise bigger than StarCraft is the Overwatch stuff. But StarCraft, I walked in on accident. I don't know where I was going. And it was insane. I did not even know that many people played StarCraft. That's me being new, guys. That's what I get.
World of StarCraft one day.
If you don't get tickets, just
dream.
go anyway. Just go. Odds are there's going to be people there that don't want to see everything every day. So you can be creative, guys. It's not that big of a deal. Just go, spend the week, and have fun with friends. Because honestly, the convention itself is very little when it comes to the BlizzCon experience.
The Hilton lobby is where it's going.
I know
on.
Bay can attest to that because there's
stop.
every other. You don't like the Hilton lobby, Bay?
I like the Hilton lobby. You remember when we could talk to people in the Hilton
Yeah.
lobby without having to scream? I remember.
It's been pretty bad, but if you drink enough and then they bring the tacos out, I just don't care.
They could still feed us and do all that madness, but like the DJ though.
That I will not lie, that does annoy me because sometimes I just want to chit chat and I don't want to hear like club hits, right? Like sometimes I just want to.
They need a balance. They need to have subtle undertone music instead of
Right.
like overpowering.
Yeah, I
everything
agree. And then all the awkward drunk people dancing.
and stealing our drinks.
I mean, that would still happen regardless of whatever music was playing, but
You're right.
at least you could actually watch them without having your ears bleed.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. They don't seem to care
Yeah.
though. They make a ton of money. They make a shit ton of money. But
Yeah.
I think that
they're
there should be
$2
some
per
middle ground.
taco.
Maybe they could, maybe they could relocate the DJ, or maybe they could have where it's not like you can barely hear yourself.
Yep. It's
I
a little
agree.
much.
Like we're sitting next to each other on the sofa. I'm like, what do you think of it? It's like, Jesus Christ.
I'm not gonna lie though, I do stock the tacos there. So there's
They're
that.
not even
It doesn't matter. They're tacos and you're
They're
drinking.
$2 per taco. That's not even worth it. I'd rather walk to Mikasa and then
That's
walk
the
back.
difference between you and I.
I prefer good stuff. That's right.
I prefer little effort on the only week when. So usually by the time I'm even drinking anyway, it's after all my obligations are done. So my Wednesday stuff is DitchCon. My Thursday stuff is Calm Before the Storm. Like once all my obligations are met, my actual obligations, then, I can spend Friday night and Saturday night kind of cutting loose. But the first half of the week is not really a vacation. Guys, North America MDI things. I'm really sad that I didn't watch this, which it's not surprising I wouldn't. I'm not really, I like to watch the PvP stuff, but the PvE stuff is fun when it's mythic rating, but the MDI stuff I found is just not my cup of tea. I give it a view because I want to support and make sure that the esports for World of Warcraft is being supported, but I'm not an active watcher. I just let it play there and multitask. But Method claimed the win, guys. I don't know the guys on the Method team personally. It's like one of the only teams for World of Warcraft that I don't pay attention to. Nice guys though, and they did win. They actually beat out Stupid Mistakes, Limit, Dark Slashers, and Team Omega Sniped.
Yeah.
I want to
So I
say,
guess their name is kind of ironic then.
yeah, the article, because I don't know if you guys know, Samantha is the one that's doing she's doing the esports write-ups for that.
You're doing the write-ups for it?
No, Arcane, everybody knows who she is on Twitter, but she's doing that now, and she's doing a killer job. But I forget how she titled it, but she was like methodical takedown, or it was really, really cool the way that she had posted that. But I want to tell you guys, while I'm showing you guys this awesome MDI image of what happened, which is just the bracket, I think it's interesting that, so Method beat Limit, and Limit's Guildie is on Method's PvP team. Like, it's so sister wives that it's really weird. And everybody's like a big, we're all big happy families. But yeah, Method pretty much killed it. Like, these guys came out swinging, and in fact, they literally won every single round, which is good because they'll be back June for the, I think it's the grand finals, right, in June?
Yeah, sure.
It feels like that's what it is.
I'm sure. Yeah, when is, because I've been keeping asked if I'm going to do an MDI show again. I did a show after the first one, and it was very preliminary, and this is very, very, interim, just trying to figure out how it all went. And I was talking to Sloot and Jack about it all, and there was definitely quite a bit of growing pains that it had to do. So I'm curious to do another one now, but I'm going to do it after everything else is wrapped up. So,
oh, what do you do? You do like a summary?
Well, I just do a live show with some of the co-hosts that were on it. I would love to see if we can get Zorbrix, who's the blue in charge of all of it, to be on the show too, to talk about how
this is his baby.
Works.
Yeah,
exactly. So we'll see about how that will work out in the future. But there's a lot of maybes and possibles and what ifs that are coming with that, and of course it comes down to how the finals work out and stuff. So
yeah. Well, and Jack is done with school this week, right? Finally.
Oh, I saw his tweet about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
What a young boy. What a young boy.
For that to be my problem.
Oh, right.
Yeah, only sure. That was the fact that I had to study for finals. I wish I was back in time for those days for that to be my only to-do thing on my to-do list. Yeah, that's exciting, though. I think I don't have to love it to support and be proud that World of Warcraft is continuing to push forward to make sure that we don't kind of die in the night. I mean, with all these games, these fast-paced games, it's really easy for World of Warcraft to be forgotten in that regard because you have your Fortnites and your Overwatches and you're really fast-paced when it comes to esports. And I think it's great that they're still pushing ahead and finding, creative ways to just make sure that World of Warcraft is there and being represented. So it's good stuff. until we
get like Overwatch Battle Royale or whatever the heck is.
Yeah. So what you're saying is we need a Warcraft Battle Royale. What I'm hearing.
I'm saying I need less Overwatch, more WoW. Like, I love that everybody loves Overwatch because Blizzard is my people.
But you hate that everyone
and
loves
I love that. But every time my husband is sitting over here at his computer, screaming at the computer playing Overwatch, I want to set him on fire.
Well, now you know how he feels when you're yelling at the computer.
Listen, this is my office. It's in the mid-redo. We're in the middle of redoing it. But yes, this is my office. But I don't want to hear about Overwatch. I don't give two shits about Overwatch. I care about World of Warcraft. That's it. That's it, guys. That's it. I don't care about anything else. I'm a one-trick pony, though. I don't feel like you can be the master of many. I think you need to be the master of one. And that's why, much to previous co-host dismay, we have only been World of Warcraft unless it was, the topic was pertinent. Maybe there was a crossover in the universe with World of Warcraft. But I just feel like I can't master all those games. I need to be good at the one so that I could give good word and that be,
But you have to be good at that one before you can.
Whatever. Just because I don't know all the lore, okay? I'm getting there.
Lore.
I'm getting there. I'm learning more and more. Surprising myself every day. Spring Balloon Festival. Guys, go ride a balloon. Guys, honestly, this is one of the weirdest micro holidays ever. I did this last year, and I didn't know what to expect, really. I was a little bit more excited than what actually happened, right? Like, I kind of built it up in my brain, right? Like, this is going to be great. I'm going to be on a balloon, and it's like being on a boat. And it was cool, kind of, because it doesn't have to just be... You have to have 3 people before,
Was it like a janky Kelly and a wine mixer?
It was kind of, but I was on there with 2 Horde people, which was as Alliance. That was kind of cool because they weren't mean to me. Normally, whenever Horde passes me, they spit on me. It was like we kind of communicated, through emotes, happy emotes. We hugged and stuff, and it was, it was a quiet ride because we couldn't communicate, but it wasn't as exciting.
I feel like I need to stream the balloon ride and just sit here and eat and just not talk for the whole entire ride.
Set the tone for just like the ambiance of just.
Well, you can ride the balloon and then have Around the World in 80 Days on your TV.
Oh, sure, that works. Yeah.
How do you not get half of my references because you're so young, but all of a sudden you have other references you just pull out of your brain?
He's just Googling them right now.
I know, he has to. Because I'll make references that are good, solid TV references that everybody should know because they're iconic.
Hey, I made a Labyrinth reference at the beginning of the
That's
show.
surprising, honestly, because he doesn't watch. Apparently, there's an age gap between him and I. And, okay, there's an age
I'm
gap.
12.
Anybody that's younger than me is 12.
Same.
Anybody that is older than me is old as fuck. No offense to anybody that may or may not be older than me, but I'm pretty old. So
Same.
I'm pretty
Also.
sure you both are 12 because I'm probably the oldest person in this call right now.
I'm 33, but thanks.
I'm the oldest person in this call right now. That's super depressing.
By like a year or two. Well,
36. I'm on the wrong
3 years,
side of
sorry.
30, right? I'm on the wrong side of 30.
But there's a right
Or-
side of 30?
Yeah, not
Technically,
35 and above.
no, technically,
Oh, okay.
literally, you are on the right side of 30. So
Okay, so anybody, I was just, there's tons of people over my age. I love you all. I'm totally just kidding. I did not mean that. I'm kidding. I love you. I love all of you.
Why was this show not actually on the air balloon, though? Oh, yeah. Just go get an in-game cap real quick and just cover Rem with the balloon ride.
Ooh, that's a good idea. I'm going to make a GIF, an animated GIF.
Okay, go for it. That works.
I'm going
too.
to take his head, his real life head, and attach it to his tune. I'm going to do something really super weird and awkward. I'm going to do that.
don't
Yeah.
give her ideas, babe. Goddamn.
It's about time that I get some kind of backup because usually everybody that's here is like pro Rem because, you know, Belle's mean and I
Because I'm
beat you.
Tina and you're Ike.
I
God.
know. People are so crazy. They come to Rem's defense because I have more like I'm more like, you know, and he's not. But they don't see what he does to me offline. Like he's mean, guys. Rem's
I'm
a dick.
helpful. I build her walls. Like, oh,
It's crooked, but it's a wall, and it's here, and I'm not even. I'm
I had to
thankful.
do the measuring. Okay.
Okay, so for the balloon ride, you can go to all the zones in Broken Isles. Wowhead actually they have the map marked if you're interested. And then Oldham, Nagrand, which is the Draenor version of Nagrand, Crystal Song Forest, and then Valley of the Four Winds, which I think it's like Celestial Winds or Celestial something. You get to, you know, see the Valley of the Four Winds, which is... I'll do that. I loved Pandaland. But yeah, go, you know, take some friends. And
Hatfield's my stomping grounds.
guys, I promise the balloon ride is safe. You don't need to worry about your safety. You're going to get there in one piece. I tried to jump out, but it won't let you.
Really?
No, I tried.
You're stuck there. Yeah.
Yeah, I did try. I was like, I can't deal with this balloon ride any longer. Like, this was fun for 2.3 seconds, but can I get off this ride now? And yeah, there's no way to...
Wow.
The
That's kinda-
NPCs though, depending on who you're, you know, what zone you're in, some of them are kind of entertaining and it's kind of funny. Suramar, actually, you'll get like a little bit of like Suramar stuff, but it's stuff we already know from going through the questing, so it's not brain busting there.
Can we get, we need to get on Twitter right now and make sure we demand a lore video of all of the different balloon rides from Nobble. If he hasn't already made one right now,
Good
then he should be working on that right now.
That's
and
a good
I expect
idea.
it on my subscriber box YouTube desk by tomorrow morning.
You're demanding. Like, people have
The
lives.
emergent like story about that is that Nobble lives in my closet. It's right over there, apparently. So
I wouldn't be surprised.
I would.
Weird
I
stuff
would.
happens when it comes to lore people.
It's true.
Rem's the lore guy, and he has probably been in my closet. Probably wearing my clothes, now that I think about it, which isn't really odd. I don't really dress like a girl, so it's not that weird, but...
It's 2018.
Yeah, and we don't make assumptions.
Did you just assume?
Yeah, I did. There's no assumptions being made here, guys. We are fluid. I don't even know what the fuck that means, but that's what we are. We're fluid. It just sounds really good when you say stuff like that. All right, so that's pretty much the bulk of the news items. There isn't a whole lot going on in Live WoW right now. I think we all know the reason why. I mean, they're busy with BFA stuff, and so we're May. I think I'm still.
Yeah, we're in May. Yeah.
Babe, what do you feel like for the pre-patch? I've been kind of saying like mid to end June. I don't really feel like they're going to make us wait until July. I feel like we're going to see it. I think we're going to see it next month. What's your...
I heckin' hope not. I have I have so much more testing to do.
Well, you better get busy.
normally, I think it's historically been about 3 to 4 weeks before. Well, I guess 2 to 4 weeks before the actual expansion comes out, because it puts us like mid-July then, and because they said like what 2 weeks ago that the PTR for the pre-patch is coming. Where is it? Still not here? Oh,
That's the reason I feel like, because we're probably going to see that by. Don't they usually do that stuff Fridays? For PTR, maybe. I feel like I remember the builds coming on Fridays for some reason for PTR. But I feel like everybody said, we think July, because Ian said in several Q&As that, a few weeks before was what he said. But I feel like their goal is to surprise people, and the expectation is July. I feel like we're going to see it at the end of June. I really do. I feel like we're going to see it. But it's also scary if it's that early, because I don't know what we're going to expect when it comes to the story. And I know they've gotten better every expansion with the pre-patch stuff, but it's still... It lacks a lot, right? Because there's a small thing that you do, and then you sit there for a month until the expansion.
A good balance of it was actually the Dark Spear revolutionary stuff when they were doing that for the Cataclysm. Yeah,
I'd like to see maybe, even if they, and I was talking a couple weeks on the show, even if they gate the content every week where they add a new thing, to pace us out, to make sure that we don't.
A little bit, yeah.
Well,
we don't have any. We have no self-control, so we'll do everything all in one day, because that's the nature of how we are. So I feel like even if they gate content where there's something new, a different piece of the story for BFA, I'm going to be really disappointed if it's like go to the Dark Portal and do a quick thing and then get some rings that you don't need, and
you get an Iron Starlet,
some gear that you don't need, and some stuff that you don't need because it'll be on the auction house for 5 gold later, and
they actually sell pretty well nowadays.
Doesn't bring you any value at that time, except it's something to look forward to, because we need that thing to look forward to. But potentially, what do you think they could possibly do? Do you feel like there could be some more robust things to do leading up to the actual expansion for the pre-patch?
All we know, and Red's probably looked into this because the lore side of things, is that we have the scenarios on both sides that are going to explain sort of the big intro pieces on both sides, which it always keeps sounding on the discussion keeps coming up about Sylvanas and how she's just a bad guy now, and why is she just a bad guy now, and all this retconning that's happened in the Chronicle. But I still feel that they haven't let the cat out of the bag or opened the can of worms where the Alliance has done something really bad. So we're probably going to get that. If you're watching, I'm not going to describe these, of course. I don't want to just bring up a whole bunch of spoilers. There are one new load screen in particular that was data mined from the last build that looks rather ominous if you're a Horde player. So, and Blizzard, of course, teased us immediately with the world trees burning down, and then there's Sylvanas, she's right there. So is that the start, or is that a response? So we don't know. We're gonna get that at least, but I mean, I don't imagine it'll be more than like the Silithus style. It's like an hour and a half of a little bit of breadcrumbing quests, a little bit of walk around and kill some goblins or whatever, and then that's basically it until the game launches. We'll also have, there was that early data mined, very rough, awful, hopefully cleaned up cinematic where you end your weapons life.
Yeah, there's still a bunch of Silithus
I have managed to not watch it whatsoever. It's the only thing I didn't want to spoil.
Crap. So don't watch it.
It's the only thing, because with what we do, we don't get surprises, right? Because we can't have surprises. We have to know these things. So it's the only thing I've avoided out of all of this, because I thought, no, I want one thing to myself, and the rest spoil away. So I have zero clue. I have an idea, because we're not dumb. We can connect dots, especially given the things that are going on. So I figured I pretty much know, but yeah, hopefully they did make it better.
We've known about that our artifacts are being, we're getting rid of them before the next expansion starts anyway, right? How that happens, we still don't have the details, right? We have the data mined, what it looks like when your weapon's overpowered or whatever the hell they're going to call it, with the screen that happens, and then we know at least storyline wise what's going to happen. We don't know how it actually is going to play out in the game. So
I'm ready to give my weapon away. I'm ready.
Well, it depends on which weapon you have, I suppose. But they just did to confirm that if you have a talking weapon and you transmog to it, then it still talks to you.
Forever. Yeah.
So, side note for that, that's shitty for my priest because I main Shadow Priest. There's no daggers in the beta at the moment.
Oh,
that's
don't
useful.
even Rab. Don't get me started.
So why the hell?
Yeah.
I'm sure
Would
at some
I
point there will
transmog
be,
it?
but although I love my weapon, and no, my weapon doesn't talk to me or whisper sweet nothings in my ear, but like, you know,
Wow.
my weapon is my trusty, you know, we do stuff together. We stab things. I'm not supposed to stab things.
We
'cause it's a
do
stab.
stuff together.
Yeah, like we're friends,
Yeah.
but I'm ready for the excitement of a weapon dropping in raid, especially when it's you know, it's the exact weapon that you need for your specific stat setup because you know there's 7 different
Yeah.
versions of the weapon and all of those possibilities.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for the weapon to be part of my life outside
Hmm.
of grinding for something. I never minded that. I love the weapons, but I'm really excited to go back to a time when I had to get the perfect weapon. Like, I always bring this up, babe, Rum's going to make fun of me, but in Miss Pandaria, it was the Whispering Eye for Destruction, which is not what it was called. The Gaze of Arrogance, as it were, from the Shah in Raid.
Both are equally as humorous.
But I did call it my Whispering Eye, and it was the best weapon for destruction and mages, I believe. Maybe even priests, not sure, but I do know that mages and warlocks, that was like your go-to weapon. And I remember the feeling of it dropping on heroic, and like I'm a heroic raider, so that was like my mythic, and it was a good feeling, and I miss having that feeling again.
Also, side note, apparently Eluneth has the best sweet whispers, whisper sweet nothings in your ear. I play Frost, so I don't know anything about Arcane, but I don't know if it's better than Xalatoth though. So
I think I would freak out if my weapon. I'm kind of glad I don't play the classes that have the talking weapons because I still remember Siege of Orgrimmar and him whispering to you when you phased in to go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and the whispers were like eerily so. I started to feel like, am I gonna hurt myself or someone else? It feels like it was like Red Rum type of stuff going on. But some people are mentally capable of handling whispering weapons. What does your what's your favorite of all the weapons, Bay? All the weapons, as far as the artifact weapons.
I mean, the meme answer is to say Naifu, right? Because that gets everyone on your side. Because that's the, even though it's still a weird thing to be in love with a dagger, but you know, hey, you know, teach their own.
that
No
voice
kink
though,
You
man.
could be in love with the strippers, so I mean, of the two, I think you're faring pretty well. Right?
Yeah, woo. It's a bit of a different platitude there, but yes, of course.
Potato. Stripper
don't know if I
daggers.
have a-
Sometimes they live in the same universe. It just
Yeah,
depends.
that's actually accurate. Yeah.
I don't actually know if I have a favorite, to be honest. I don't really have that sort of attachment to the game. I mean, the Doomhammer is excellent, but I still feel that Doomhammer is weird that you just have like this extra elemental weapon just because. But so be it, I guess. But
Because why wouldn't I want Doomhammer as a two-hander?
well, don't oof. That's
See, I know how to.
that's another one too. I mean,
Okay, so
Doomhammer-
aesthetically wise, what would you say is like one of your top 5?
my favorite Doomhammer is the Typhoon one, the whirlwindy tornado one, and then there's the then there's the fiery glaives from the Mage Tower for Havoc. Those are really nice. But there's a few. You brought up the whole weapon thing, and what gets me more is about like the systems involved in the weapons, and you brought up a whole transmog debacle. And that's something that I've been reporting in my alpha and beta testing for a while now, because the weapon types, we're not keeping the same types of weapons going forward. We can go back to the whole sort of slew you have. So where's the silver hand go? You just
That's
where do druids go with their daggers? Where do windwalker monks go with their fist weapons? That they have to only have those to be able to put on this and it's just art, right? It's just art assets and this kind of stuff. But when the entire expansion is about farming those art assets to make yourself look different, to have different weapons for almost 2 years by the time that BFA comes out, it just seems kind of weird that they still haven't addressed that yet. So
yeah.
like I asked about it at PAX, didn't get a really good answer. It was asked about it on a like a blue post came up about it, didn't really have a really good answer about it either. So like that stuff really sort of gets me a little more worried than everything else because of the weapon transmog restrictions are so wonky.
Yeah.
And still.
Well, and when they're super silent and not even saying, "Hey, we're addressing that," or "It's in the works." It's been my experience when they're super quiet like that, with no defense when people are angry about something. It usually means they have no idea how they plan on doing said thing, which is a little scary.
I'd rather them have some shitty response than no response in that regard. So
yeah, just pretend. Just say we're working on it. You don't even have to really be doing it. That's how you shut the masses up, is you just tell them. If you guys were wondering what that odd thing was earlier, so I thought by redoing my office and fixing the wall that it would be less hot in here, but it seems either the air is off or I don't know, but I was sitting here sweating, and Bertha, which is my computer, she's on wheels. She has her own little pedestal thing under the desk, and she has her own fan. So that's I stole her.
For that?
I stole her fan because I'm hot. I bought her own tower fan. It's just its purpose is to blow anything warm outside.
Extra money on the side. Copy.
Bertha's a good girl. And yes, it's hot. It was 101 today, guys. 100.
No, it was 106.
Okay.
I was outside all day.
I wasn't outside during the 106, but I did walk outside and was instantly sweating from top to bottom and was like...
You can keep that. I live in Florida, but you can keep that.
It's like... It's so hot here, the walls sweat. But...
Gross.
Yeah, it's like... And people are angry. And people are always like, why are you so grumpy? Guys, the heat will make you violent and angry and grumpy all at the same time. Like there's no
all day because I work.
We haven't even got to the hot parts yet. Just wait until June and July when it's 120 outside, and yeah, it's gonna be.
Looking forward to dying. It's all good.
You'll be okay. You're gonna make it. He's from California, so he's not used to this all the time heat, right? Because we have like maybe 2 months out of the year where it's pretend winter, but it's not.
Well,
really.
I've been telling everyone out here that I lived in Texas, like in Houston, for 5 years. So if I can survive that, then I'm good.
Texas is humid, very, very humid. I can't. I'd rather have a dry heat. At least it's a dry heat, though, guys. We don't have to deal with, except during monsoon season, which is minimal. Now you guys got your weather talk today. This is what happens here, guys. We give you real life information.
Speaking of, 95th Avenue has a bunch of construction on it, by the way, guys. If you're in...
This is getting a little bit meta.
I don't leave the house, so unless it's right down the road, and if it involves me putting on real pants outside of my boxers, I don't even own boxers. My basketball shorts, I don't do it.
If you want traffic updates for Metro Phoenix, let me know.
So weird. At least he's learning to get around. All right, so we talked. I think we talked last week about the global cooldowns in a more organized fashion, where it wasn't Rem putting me on the spot like an asshole. I was actually able to give an educated response and talk about people not panicking over things that we don't really know. And when I say we don't really know, they can say X is going to happen. Until you test it, it doesn't mean anything, because sometimes when they say X is going to happen and everybody's panicking, you might not even notice it all, like nerfs and stuff like that. Like sometimes they change very small things and everybody's freaking out. And I don't even know that anybody would have noticed said things that are changing. So we just have to be level-headed, guys. It's not that big of a deal. Try it out. Watch videos on people who are testing it. Ask questions. Don't just be like, that's it, I'm unsubscribing because you did this thing.
That's the cool thing to do, though.
Guys, Blizzard doesn't give a shit if you unsubscribe, because for every unsubscribe, they have 50 more that take your place. They don't care. That's not the way.
Brand new to the game lately, so.
But it's not the way to get their attention. If you want to get their attention, you test it. You give them sound, logical reasons why X happening is bad.
With no bad words.
So
then they throw out your information and ban you.
We talked about the major global cooldown, which I've been calling it an initiative, because I've learned that in my career, that when we're doing things, we call it an initiative. So I'm trying to be fancy, but they're just trying to change the pacing just a little bit when it comes to encounters. And we talked about it affecting a little bit of PvE depending. This just means you have to be more thoughtful when you're doing something with your rotation. And for PvP, this means you really have to be thoughtful, because if you use X instead of Y in your global cooldown, you're gonna be dead, which I think it'd be nice to not be able to Netflix while doing a important thing, right? Like dungeoning or raiding or something, that actually requires neurons that you can't just face roll. I think it's nice that they're paying attention to that to make sure that we actually have to put in some effort versus, especially when
so we need more neurons, not morons.
Yeah, I just think it's important that they continue to make it not. It's scary. It was scary in Draenor. I don't remember when they did the bulk of the pruning and they took a bunch of stuff away, and I thought, wow, we are one step away from having 2 options in your kill rotation. It was a really scary time. Now they're giving, they're being more thoughtful and making sure that it's staying on that skill level. It's not that big of a deal. But for those of you who thought it was, the racials and the on-use trinkets have been removed I don't know if it's already been done or it'll be in the next.
Wait, so they removed them from the game?
No. They removed it from they removed them from the global cooldown
initiative.
The global cooldown initiative, because I know they say that shit at the meetings.
Okay, Tony Stark.
No, I know that on their whiteboard it says global cooldown initiative because they're on a mission. Whenever they do something, that's what it is. It's an initiative.
You're just going to use Coulson like they did.
Really, God. I'm making fun of my director because my director says it every single meeting for like 7 things, and I'm like, how can all these things be an initiative? Aren't you tired?
But what's the
of
LOE
initiating?
for the initiative?
LOE, level of effort. I'm learning stuff, guys. Every day I'm learning stuff. They did remove those. The racials I agree with, because I don't think the racials should be tied to a global cooldown, even if I agree with what they're doing with global cooldowns. I feel like the racials inherently should be fluid as part of your class play, and it doesn't make sense. How do you feel about that, Bae, in regards to like racials and global cooldowns? Do you agree?
So a lot of if anyone's out there listening or watching,
open the box.
Yeah, open the box, I guess. I've been talking about this because I've been beta testing, alpha testing World of Warcraft now since MOP. It really became more of a thing in Warlords and into Legion, and I've got pages and pages of Google documents and all these changes they've done, and I've done all this reverse engineering math on the game, and we figured this all out when I'm live in front of an audience, so I'm getting like a litmus test back and forth, but like, well, this is good, this is bad, this is good, this is bad, whatever. And it helps sort of funnel that. Like I'm just kind of the sponge. And the GCD change specifically is and has never been a big deal to me when it started happening. Because I have been talking about this for a very, very long time on my live shows, interviewing players that kick this game's ass in comparison to myself, right? I've talked to all the different World First guilds from the last 2+ expansions, and there's always this back-end discussion that comes up about how World of Warcraft's combat is very fluid and it works really well. If you played other MMOs, you'll notice that there is a very different approach to this global cooldown. The differences between like SWTOR's combat and WoW's combat and Final Fantasy's combat are all very different. So, and they're all super different in that regard. And my thing about WoW, the big point I've always brought up is that I don't understand why there's this huge boner that everyone has, just like a generalized everyone, right? Reddit or the WoW forums, MMO Champion forums, the general player base, the casuals, the hardcores, the whatevers. Why does WoW have to keep getting faster? Why does your gameplay have to keep being faster? I've been playing since vanilla, when haste didn't exist, when there was nothing you could really do to do this back in the day. I just don't know why that's a thing.
Because everyone's a 2-pump Trump, so...
Boners are fun, guys, I won't lie. Even as a girl who doesn't really get, like, I don't get the actual...
Lady boners are a thing,
you know?
Okay.
Yeah, like, I mean, mine gets pretty big, but, well, okay, it's probably bigger than many. But I agree, and I love that there is somebody with that same thought process outside of Rem that I have, because I feel the same way. Why do we need to be faster paced? There's 50 other fucking games that are faster paced. Go play those.
Right.
World of Warcraft has always been strategy, and part of that fluid play is connecting with your class. Now I'm going to sound super like, spiritualistic here, but I do feel like there is a certain way that you are when you kind of meld with the class that you're playing, especially when it's a class, maybe it's one you've been playing for a really long time and you've been through all the nerfs and buffs and all those things. But I feel like it's one of those things where it just becomes just inherent with what you're doing, and depending on the part of the expansion we're in, it usually makes sense, and the rotation's pretty good unless they're pruning the hell out of all the things. But Celestalon's gone, so that's why we're getting all our stuff back, guys, because Chad's gone. And
it's not.
He's in Hearthstone, so now, I'm just kidding. Chad, I'm joking, I love you.
So now Hearthstone's going to be getting pruned soon.
No, but I do feel like, what is the big hurry?
Yeah,
to kill the boss faster.
But yes, I get that. I get it. But
there's a back end. This is not trying to me being some like weird elitist, like top 1%, 2%, or whatever the memes want to go about, with this kind of stuff, right? So I've been raiding Mythic for a very long time, and I usually have it done in a relatively quick-ish fashion. Depends on, of course, the heyday, the expansion, the whatever. So I've been as high up in other guilds, the one I'm in right now, as high as like US 16th, which was like 6-day-a-week raiding. Back in the day, that was BC to Wrath, when you could argue the game was harder back then, but I wouldn't argue that. I would just say that people were worse. They were just bad.
We didn't have a lot of comforts of life back then, no. I mean, we have a lot there. We get to partake in a lot of comforts as of late that we didn't have back then, for sure.
Yeah,
there's better adult diapers for raiding, Bay. Now you can be really comfortable because they've come very far with those now. I don't know.
I mean, I want to say thank you for being considerate, but all at the same time, I don't know what kind of shade you're trying to pull here.
You forget that during World First Time, I'm in the Method staff Discord. So this year was the first time I've ever seen the inside of it versus being a fan from the outside, because I've always been Method, right? That just is what it is, and everything is going to be Method till I die. But I got to see what actually goes on during the Mythic races, and like...
I
would have given up after 30 minutes. I don't have that. It is
a lot of that too is math. There's a lot of math that goes on into the Mythic World First raid race because it's all.
There's a lot of Adderall. I'm confused now.
Right.
Maybe. I was gonna say like liquor, but I mean,
that too.
All those things.
It's way more math heavy than a lot of people understand that goes into that kind of thing, because they're playing with like seconds and percentages.
Right.
And there's this huge umbrella that Blizzard is trying to sort of pull down on the game right now. Because right now the umbrella is like wind damaged and blown wide open, and there's so much stuff in that umbrella. They're trying to yank it back down a little bit. And by doing so, if they can slow down the pace of the game a little bit. And I was looking at trying to make a GCD video, and I still hope to make one. And I was going to go through logs and go through every spec and try to get like a ballpark of APMs, and then even just slow that down by 10%. That's sort of like 2-ish to 3 less button presses a minute. That's how much slower your rotation may get. And some might affect more than others, right? Maybe like a 5 or 6 on like high haste classes like Shadow Priest or whatnot, or Fury Warriors or whatever. But there's how many less button presses you get may feel awkward because you've been used to how your gameplay keeps getting faster and faster, more abilities, more passes, more procs, more, And if Blizzard can slow the game down by a little bit, then they can probably tune and hopefully tune the encounters in the game
for less soak mechanics. Is that what you're going to say? Because that's what I was going to say. I would love to see.
I wasn't going to say soak mechanics. I was going to say the option that I bring up a lot is the high octane nature that keeps sort of plaguing World of Warcraft. To make encounters more difficult and engaging, they have to make them just mathematically more difficult, either faster or more damage or more demanding. That's why a lot of the problems happened in Nighthold that had 2 healer comps because A, the math was stupid, B, the healing requirement was also stupid. So they had to like flip that around to make that work. Yeah, because
the person who did that portion of it probably didn't pass math.
Well, I mean, you're just making fun of Chad again.
It's true. I know him, and I know him in real life, and he probably is just as bad as math as I am and just pretends.
if they can slow the pace of the player down slightly and give you more choice in your A, B, C, X, Y, Z, they can also make the encounters a little bit more forgiving, because the high octane example that I always bring up is Zul'Harrak Mythic, where you had roughly 1.8 seconds to react to a debuff or you wipe the raid. And that's not very fun.
No.
That's nothing fun about that.
That's
And you brought up
stressful.
Soap.
That's like anxiety waiting for that to happen.
Well,
like in what is the Valthramas? I can't say his name.
Varamathras.
Velmath. I can never say.
You have sub 3 seconds to kill the shadow.
And that whole fight stresses me out.
Yeah.
Like I am stressed waiting for my name to pop up because I know I'm going to be next. And if I don't do it exactly right, I have wiped the raid, and people are not happy at you when you are the guy that does that.
This all just goes back to the whole, like, why does the game need to be faster and faster and faster? I don't understand, because it becomes a problem on a developmental side, because they can only make things so challenging.
Right.
And instead of making things more challenging, they should make things more engaging and fun, and like you feel like these moments of power.
Thoughtful, right?
Yeah, so the problem is they're tying in challenging with like less time to react to it. Like that doesn't make it challenging, it just makes it
Makes it frustrating.
Yeah.
Bell brought up Soaks. Mythic kill Jaden.
Yeah.
Oh god.
You had to do roughly 15 randomly generated soak mechanics, either the meteors or dodging the pillars. And if you ever mess that up once out of 15 plus times, or however many it was, depending on your kill time, you wiped. That's not fun.
Yeah.
You can't. That's not an engaging mechanic.
That might be why I don't like PvE on a hard mode level like that. Like it might be because I need that extra 2 or 3 seconds where I have to wait for a choice, right? I might need because I'm not as fast as probably even like you. I mean, I'm sure I'm a little slow. But
okay, so just a little on topic but off topic. Let's have a little.
Are you gonna say fight with swords? No, not a fight with swords.
But like just off the top of your head, what's a mechanic you can think of that would be engaging and fun but also challenging? Either
pokey. That's a mechanic I could think of that would be engaging and fun for everyone.
Because you can turn yourself around, but
this is not a me question, babe. This is a you question because I am a PvE casual.
Either like an example from like a past expansion or something you've been thinking of.
Well, some of the most fun bosses that always come up whenever you ask like a mythic raider, like what or heroic, because it used to be heroic before it became mythic, right? If you go back that far, you ask people what are your top favorite bosses, and right off the bat for me, you get heroic Lei Shen, you get Black Fuse, you get Thogar, you get Mythic Helia. In that sort of order, because those first 3 all have different mechanics that lead into Mythic Helia. And if you never did Mythic Helia at the time, because now she gets destroyed, right? It's too much gear.
She's hot. Sidebar. Just want to tell you guys she's hot.
I mean, all right. Boats. No kink shaming. But that encounter had damning mechanics that would kill your entire raid, but you had just enough time to do the dance and to do the Heigen mechanics that are like all the way back from like Nax vanilla that were enough that when you nailed it as a raid group. Yeah, exactly. You had enough time. The difference in that, of course, is when you go to Nighthold, when you get like the stupid debuffs on Astromancer or something, where you just get so little of a moment that, and because the mechanic is randomly generated on you.
Oh yeah, like the fire elementals and the frost elementals, or
it's I guess I'm saying the wrong boss. The guy on the globe room. What's his name? I can't think of his name,
but it's like an astronomancer, like astronomy mancer.
Yeah. Because the other one I'm thinking, what you're talking about is the one in the front, the guard. Star Augur, there it is. That's when
Star Augur, yeah.
Like there becomes these frustrating moments, at least in my opinion, and the side of things that I rate on, that and the example that came up in chat, what if your random targeted debuff or whatever hit someone that lag spikes because of combat log or whatever, and then all of a sudden your raid's dead? That's not fun, right? So it depends on the type of mechanic and that can happen in Mythic Helia too. If you get the shadowed orb and you lag out and you brick it, that happens. But there becomes parts of encounters that they have to have enough ebb and flow that the player can choose. Mythical Dan is also a really good example of this. Even Heroic had some good points too, that you have to feel punished if you don't react properly, but not punished if you just can't react fast enough.
Right.
Because that's not fun.
Shouldn't be one way or the other, because Blizzard's always been known for not having any chill. They're either left or they're right.
Oh,
it's
they're 7 or 15 on the
right.
volume.
They don't have any balance.
Yeah.
They either screw everything up and then fix it as they go because that's their nature. We don't have any chill at Blizzard ever, and I like that mentality. I really do. But I have no chill. I'm one way or the other. Also,
that's your whole life.
But in my gaming life, sometimes I need you to not have that. But when you were talking about fights, I was thinking about going back into Siege of Orgrimmar, and the thought makes me want to kill myself, right? Because we spent a lot of time in Siege because it was like the only raid forever. But I'm thinking about it, and as much as I have like an internal reaction just because the time we spent there, I really did enjoy a lot of the encounters, even from like a heroic, we might have attempted like 1 or 2 mythic bosses, but I did enjoy the encounters, honestly, with the majority of them. They seemed, I'm trying to think back to a different time because now we have a different life when it comes to mechanics. But I don't think I disliked a lot of the older mechanics, and I wonder why they strayed away from that, because people wanted fast. My name is Ricky Bobby. I like to go fast.
There's a lot of topics that go into this, and it obviously it all the weird like bandwagon that comes out that says like the older versions of the game was harder is such a flat topic, because there's no way you cannot argue that the game in almost any difficulty, even the real penultimate difficulty in WoW right now is LFR. We all know that. And,
that's the real mythic. Woo! That's a struggle.
That's
22 stacks of determination, and you zone in with a ton of dead bodies, and they're like, raid's going great. Thanks for joining.
The
it is, huh?
Already has 5 stacks of determination.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Tough.
People still wipe on Kil'jaeden. It's amazing.
Oh, I'm sure. It's just that this whole topic about the GCD thing is weird, because if Blizzard would have had at least some type of water cooler that came out, or maybe if Ian would have been able to describe this.
It's almost like they had someone that used to do.
I know, but the point of this is that if the game can slow down just a little bit, then so can the decision making, and the design of the game can slow down a little bit. And some of that's showing up in the raid testing so far, where at least the heroic raid testing, there's more going on right now and tomorrow, that there's just this weird balance they have to do. And Ian's discussion he had about this too in one of the Q&As, I think 2 ago, was that, or it was also a tweet too, is that if every player out there can react to like movements and interrupts and defensives all at the same time, then Blizzard can make all those things happen at the same time, right? Because there's you could do all of your choices at the same time. There's no drawback to that. Now that just becomes like, dexterity or reaction time or latency or whatever, and those are different factors. But if they can separate those a little bit, then so can they do that with the raid design as well. I think that's a healthy thing overall, because not to get like too frontal lobian or meta or whatever you want to call it, most of the game that plays World of Warcraft, most of the players that play the game World of Warcraft are rather bad at the game. And that's like a global thing, right? And if you want to say bad or more casual or whatever way you want to wrap it up and put a bow on it, that's fine.
We're when I say we, I don't mean me, but uneducated as a group. As a group of people, and instead of taking the time to learn and do research because it's important, they ask in trade chat and they get trade chat advice. They ask in guild, which should be a great place, right? My guild, because of what I do on the internet, my guild better not ever tell somebody in guild chat to Google it. But not every guild is like that. Not everybody, is so forthcoming, and then you get bad information when you need to learn to separate that, but they don't. They just don't at all. They ask questions that they should already know the answers to at a max level with X amount of eye level. How do you not know the answer to this question? Which it'd be like, but it is uneducated.
I'm going to piggyback off that for the last bit that I can add to this, because obviously you have a lot more show notes to go through. and host to host. And
no, but I got that's what I wanted out of you. You were like, I don't really have much to say, but you said exactly what I needed, which is to give people proper perspective.
There's one other point, and I'll credit at least bringing up this little pin on the dartboard to Preach, my buddy Mike, who had a video about this. He talked about it sort of in just like a ramble, that there's this huge difference in scale right now from players because of, like, take myself, been playing since beta, vanilla WoW. So all of this information about the game and keeping up with the game and how I play the game, and then like my community around me that then absorbs that and what I do and what I do in my guild and what I learn from other people, and that propagates into a certain area. But there is a huge portion of people that are not that, as you said, educated, or that have that much tenure with the game. So when people bring up these huge, like they use like the damage meter as a thing, we brought up earlier too, about damage meters and how it used to be worse back in the day. And that's not really true, because as the game got more and more complicated, and what Blizzard's trying to do again with the whole GCD slowdown slightly, is that the better players, myself or ones that are way better than I am, can min-max every little thing, and it shows this big glaring difference between how much better they understand the game than a lot of other players, and that can disenfranchise them from even liking the game they're playing. Because if they can't do that, which of course they can, subscribe to do that and learn about it or read about it, Icy Veins, guides, YouTube videos, whatever, train, practice, because any game like this with muscle memory requires practice. It just makes it makes the gulf grow more and more and more and more and more all the time. Because if you're a player that can keep adjusting to all of this versus one that can't, then can you still have fun playing the game at that level? And the age range comes into this, and lifestyle and time to play and all this madness, all these other factors. But there's just a lot of things that trickle down that dishearten players because of how good some people can be, and they can never be that good. And that's frustrating.
It is.
That's one of the reasons why Belle has such a bad time about Affliction, because she cannot adapt to that level of play.
There it is.
I fucking knew he was going to say this shit, guys. I tried to tell you. I try to behave myself, right? I try to behave, and he just says the one thing that he knows is going to make me lose my shit. Listen.
There it is.
Affliction is a dot class that doesn't require skill, people.
The problem is you don't have enough neurons.
Anyway, moving on. I like burst, right? And I like having a burst, and I appreciate that burst. I don't want to just throw shit at people randomly, throw popcorn at them. I don't need to be the very top of the meter. I just need to know that when you see my Chaos Bolt, you know that it's going to hit your face, and you're probably going to die after.
Yeah. Should that burden? Yeah, see, there's a weird thing there. Are we doing sign language now?
I muted. Did I mute again? Did I mute mid-sentence?
Yeah,
I don't even know when I muted.
Maybe a bit. The very tail end.
Well, guys, here's the thing. You are right. There are people that do get frustrated when they are... I'm trying to think when we started our raid team. I remember the changes happening in Draenor, and I struggled so much to get a grip on everything that was happening. And I'm pretty in touch with my class. I've been Destruction since 2008. So, like... That's a long time to be in love with myself. But I didn't really adapt really well, and so many changes happened, and I seen other people grasping those changes quicker than I could. And even the same class as me and the same spec as me, they were doing amazing, and I'm just sitting here like, I don't understand when I'm doing all the right things. I'm researching. You're talking to somebody who I'm watching. Everybody that I know gives good word on Destruction, not Noxic and all the other, I'm just going to spew shit out on the internet because it sounds good. But I'm talking like guys that know what I need to be doing. And those things do get frustrating. And I do think that there should be a difference between those players and other players. I think there should be a visible difference between those who really have that knowledge and those who don't, because I think that makes it fun. And I think that's part of why you're either super duper good or you're not, because you have that mentality where you have that drive and want to do those things. Where sometimes I just don't care, and I'm just like, fuck it, I'm just going to be at the bottom of the damage meters and I don't care. But I think in closing with the global cooldown situation, I knew I had watched, I don't know who I watched you with, but there was a very small discussion on it. And I had heard you, I'm trying to think who else was you were talking to. Maybe it was a Twitter conversation. I don't really know, guys. I'm getting old. But I kind of liked the vibe and where that was going. And I needed people to understand that it's not as serious, and that sometimes, while we don't understand that it's what we need, not what we want, sometimes that's going to be the thing in the long run. So it's going to be fine, guys. We're gonna make it. Bay's doing math, guys. As long as Bay's doing the math here,
Gross.
like, you don't gotta worry, because he's...
I'm not down with that arithmetic, okay?
Usually my chat does the math for me, and I just regurgitate it. I mean, we've done a lot of napkin math. A lot of the napkin math happens right now because all the formulas are changing on beta right now for a lot of things.
Cities are made on napkins. Okay?
Yeah, that's okay, because Rem gives me all the lore and makes me sound really smart when it comes to lore from, like, back in the day, because I'm not a vanilla player. I came in the very tail end of BC, but there's a lot of stuff that I missed just because I wasn't the most into it when I first started playing WoW. So I missed a lot of stuff just because I was hitting shit with sticks at like level 12, and I wasn't involved enough. I wasn't in love with it enough to really just kind of get in there and do stuff. But he makes me smart. He tells me stuff and I pretend it's mine stuff. Like, I totally knew that.
Don't let her do that to you. You're worth more, okay, Rem? You have feelings.
I like this, how this is right now. I can't hear her. It's amazing.
Did I mute again?
I think so.
But yeah, no, I'm used to
Who
it.
is muting? Like, I don't even have the... I'm not even clicking that there's no mute button to click.
You'll never know.
We'll never know.
Yeah, so good things, guys. It's going to be okay. Yep. I am going to continue to steal Rem's lore ideas.
I should just feed you bad information.
No, the problem is because when I am on point with an opinion that he doesn't agree with, but then during the course of the discussion and I've made my point and I know he finally agrees with me because I finally laid it out in a manner to which he understands and he gets, he'll never let me have it, ever. We will, for the next year, he will always disagree, even though I know he really agrees because I can see in his face that I was able to change his mind.
We still have this debate. Well, it's not really a debate because I'm correct, but flowers are on plants. So when you're planting a plant,
we can't have this debate again. We can't. I can't go through this again, guys. Listen, you can't. I can't do it. There was this thing one time, I'm just going to quick preface, then we're moving on. There was the thing one time, my friend said she was going to go water her plants, and I'm like, you don't fucking have plants? What are you talking about? I've never seen one green thing in your house. And she's like, I have all kinds of hibiscus everywhere. And I'm like, that's a flower. That's not a plant. And she's like, yeah, but they're plants because, you know, they're all, and that her and him get into this big thing with me. And I'm like, so... I don't know, you go, so you're saying flowers are plants, you go flower a flower? Like, I don't understand what you're saying to me here. Like, plants are green, flowers are just the flower that's inside the plant, right? Like, I know the difference. It was insane.
But flowers grow on trees and bushes, so therefore...
The flowers she meant were not plants. To me, when she said plant, I thought like a fern or a ficus or a succulent or something in that nature, like a house plant. I wasn't thinking, you know, her little, she has them in little flower pots. But she was like, you don't even know me at all. I have plants all over my house. And I'm like, no, you don't. Literally, you have none. I've never seen one plant. Then we figured out that it's not a plant. It was a flower. Anyway, guys. Now you've been caught up. Okay. So, guys, we are actually going to skip the reputation stuff because we are way over time, and I feel like I really need to respect Bay's time because you don't want to keep people up all night because then they get grumpy. We were just going to talk about some rep stuff. It's nothing we can't push off till next week. Not that big of a deal. We can even go over it when I think I'm streaming tomorrow. We can even talk about it then. But what I want to do is I want to get into Rem's lore so that we don't miss that, and then we'll get into the guest segment, and I hope Bay's ready for the gauntlet, which I feel like is going to be wasted on him. He's going to know all the answers, so it's...
Oh, gosh. Oh, wait, you're not skipping over the least and looking forward to the most? And
oh, don't worry. You're going to give us that information. You're going to give us all the cheesy stuff.
That's an easy answer.
That's the same stuff everybody asks everybody. That's why it's there.
Yeah.
I just really want to know your WoW confession. When we get intimate with Bay, we're going to ask him his WoW confession.
Oh yeah, we had some pretty good ones.
Yeah, we have. Bajira's is by far the best, but we'll see. Okay, Rem, what are we talking about? Orcs? No? Onyxia? Yes?
Oh, Nexia, yeah.
I don't really remember what you said lore was about.
Oh, Nexia. Oh, Nexia.
Just wanted to make him feel awkward because he's a dick. Okay, I'm done making you feel awkward. Okay, go. Onyxia, educate me. I still don't have the mount.
Oh, I don't either. Still one of the best mounts in the game, but it's a different thing. So, Onyxia is part of the Black Dragonflight, kind of important. So, she is the daughter of Deathwing and what was it, Syntharia? You fight Syntharia in Bastion of Twilight Heroic or something other. Isn't it Bastion of Twilight? Either or.
Bastion of Twilight, that's Sinestra? The special heroic
Sinestra is Syntharia, I believe.
Her dragon name, I believe.
Yeah.
I think. My fledgling loreness.
Yeah, also know, yeah, she's...
I didn't know that Onyxia was Deathwing's daughter.
Yeah, she's the brother of Nefarian, and technically Rathian.
Speaking of which, I think Rathian's the problem. But anyway, we'll talk about that.
There's a small age gap between them, so you can't really count that.
I never knew that. I don't know why I never knew. Anyway, go ahead. So the daughter, important.
So
killing.
she first comes into play in terms of the story and a raid. I believe during Vanilla, aka Classic, you are tasked by Varian to go kill her, and so the problem is there is a group of all the heroes, and she takes Anduin captive.
Who hasn't taken Anduin captive? I mean, yeah. I'm just saying we've been rescuing him in various scenarios as much as we've been rescuing Thrall. Am I right? Am I right?
Well, now it's 180 because we got Manduin to save our lives.
He's gonna be a studly hero. Anyway, okay, I'm done interrupting.
He's gonna be the Brad Pitt of the story.
He's not. It's Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger or Brad Pitt, babe? Which one would you say he looks like? Heath Ledger or Brad Pitt?
Oh gosh, I mean,
young Brad Pitt, right?
Probably a young Brad Pitt more than Heath.
Oh.
He has too much of like a model face, and Heath didn't have that. Yeah.
They made him really handsome for a reason because it makes all the girls spend the money on the BFA. Okay, go ahead. I'm done interrupting you, I swear.
But what nose does he have, though? Which nose is the best nose?
I'm gonna think about that. Actually,
that's a deep cut. That's a deep cut. No. That's an Anduin deep cut. That's an Anduin deep cut. Yeah.
So based on the story and basically in game, Alliance gets credit for the kill, but obviously, like any mechanic wise, Horde and Alliance go into the raid and are able to kill Onyxia. Either get the mount, get the nice little trinkets, or I think there's like a 20 or 22 slot bag from her. So that's all good stuff. The thing is, what's weird is we take her head as a trophy. It's pinned in Stormwind and Orgrimmar, but she returns in Cataclysm because Nefarian takes her body, resurrects her, and it's all put together. Like, is that someone else's head? Maybe we'll never know.
Modeling clay? Maybe they learned crafts in between expansions, right?
Nefarian, he's pretty crafty, so he might have learned some arts and crafts.
That's a question. Where's Nobble? Nobble!
Well, he's probably under your bed now that we busted him in the closet, Bay.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good question.
He's under the bed now.
That's just
Harry Potter closet. I'd live there.
Yep.
That's true. I have one, actually. I have a Harry Potter closet. Anyway, off subject, but equally as important that I have one if anybody wants to live in my Harry Potter closet.
There's actually enough room for a bed.
JK, everything I hoard is in that closet.
Same thing with ours.
Okay, so do we know? Because, well, if they brought her back to life, didn't they need her head to do that? Don't you need the whole body, or do you just need parts of the body?
I guess maybe when Deathwing attacked Stormwind, like he somehow took it? Question mark.
Oh.
That's the only time that they could have retaken it. Because isn't it still showing up somewhere? I haven't looked
I
at
don't know. I don't pay
trophies
attention.
in a while, but
Not anymore.
because I know the Deathwing jaw is somewhere.
You should tweet to Noble and find out where the head at. Just tweet him where the head at. He'll know exactly what you mean.
I have to tie in that with the what's that band, Basement Jacks? The Where's Your Head At?
Yep. Get the GIF from that song
Yeah.
into
There you
that
go.
tab.
He'll totally know exactly what you mean. You won't even have to explain it.
No other context.
Just where the head at.
Just that.
It would actually be kind of weird if he really did, and then I would be a little creeped out. I need you to try to help get him on here because Rem needs good lore conversation where I actually shut up and don't talk about stuff, but he doesn't get that conversation with lore with me.
You don't want Nobble on the show for that? You want Preacher. Get Preacher on the show.
That's actually probably true, but I think I would probably have to accommodate him. Isn't he? He's UK, right?
Oh, gosh.
He has an accent. He doesn't even have to know anything lore related. He has an accent.
Nothing. He knows nothing.
Accents do make you sound
Accents
smarter
will make him,
and hotter.
everybody will believe everything he says. But I feel like Preach and me would have a lot in common because I don't know the story stuff either. But I feel bad because Rem doesn't get a lot of good conversation about lore because when I do guess, I don't care about lore, so I don't pick the lore guests at all.
I have to talk to myself, and it's quite maddening.
I'm selfish.
I got Zalatoth whisper. Talk about
There it is. There it is.
What?
Zalatoth.
I don't know who that is.
Naifu
That's
as
Naifu, the Black
put
Blade. Yeah.
I
The
don't
Blade
know.
of the Black Empire. Yep.
I don't know who that is.
I didn't put it like that.
As you're killing stuff, she whispers, "Delicious."
Yeah, that happens.
It does.
That sounds really scary.
Every little death counts.
So you're gonna tweet to him, Rem, and tell him where to head at, and then,
$20 is $20.
I'm just saying it's a small price to pay.
Wait.
So, why is Onyxia so important even right now? Is she still relevant?
Relevant now? No. In terms of the story and in game, she is dead. But she's important because she is a pretty strong member, or was a pretty strong member of the Black Dragonflight. So she was not like a proper bad guy, but someone to actually keep your eye on because she could cause some issues. That's about it with Onyxia. It's more of just her mount looks fucking cool.
She's related to Rathian, so did she kill Admiral Taylor and all of his people
No.
too?
No,
Because
that
I'm
was just
still
Rathian.
bitter. Okay, guys, 2 expansions. Well, almost 2 expansions, and I'm still bitter. I still am sad.
Well, yeah, we saw him become like a little soldier dude.
No,
come
I'm bitter.
to-
I'm bitter and sad.
Now he was a captain.
Yeah.
Now
Everybody
he
was
admiral.
dead, and the ghosts were walking around. And you read this journal, and it was very sad.
Actually, that's something we can talk about in a later deal too. Is what actually happened in the garrison.
Why? I
Because-
don't really know, but I just always assumed
Yeah.
Rathian was a piece of shit and killed everybody, and it makes me very
I mean,
angry.
he's a piece of
but-
shit, but
Have
he's,
you? I mean, have you
he's
read
chaotic good. kind
No,
of.
I have not, and I should probably do research, but it feels
Mm-hmm.
like it's just fun to hate the bad guy. But he's always been one of those things that I talk about all the time in Siege when we went through our legendary quest line. He felt very like creepy to me. Like I felt like when
like meet me on the top
yeah,
of
like
the
when we
hill.
went on the mountain, I was like, this dude's gonna kill me. Like I got a very bad vibe the whole time we were doing the
Yeah.
quest, and then when we went up there, I was like, I told my husband, this dude's gonna kill me. I'm gonna get up there, he's gonna pretend
Like
to
he's
give
gonna
me the
lead you
stuff.
to fields into
Yeah, and
experience.
he's just gonna cut my head off. And it just felt the vibe just felt super wrong. It didn't feel like he was trying to help, and that's from a non-lore, like just an average everyday getting a
You know what
bad
that
vibe
is?
from
That
a
might
bad
be
guy.
good storytelling.
Well, I'm sure if it made me feel, I was uncomfortable. Like I wanted to phone a friend. I wanted somebody to go up there with me because it made me feel, really weird. And I didn't feel like he was genuine whatsoever. That our entire time we dealt with the legendary quest line, it didn't feel genuine to me. It felt like he was pushing his agenda and was pretending to help us so that we would get what we needed to do some great thing later that I don't know.
I
ever
guess our
happened.
calendars didn't just line up. I guess.
Well, either that or he was trying to date me. I don't really know.
You know, he's like 12 years old, right? in human years or whatever.
Is he really? Well,
Yeah.
that's super awkward. Guys, I didn't know. I didn't ask for ID.
Actually, oh gosh, yeah. What is?
That's like the
There was
best.
there was a conversion about how old he sort of is, I suppose, in comparison. Because obviously he's very young in dragon years. He's like a babby still, essentially. But he's very young.
Of all the stories that I remember, my previous lore guru was Lycan, and he kind of is the reason I know some of the older stuff. But he told me the story about how, when Rathian was in the egg, and he heard basically, I think it was all the other dragonflights, right, where they were talking about how they wanted to use him. I think we steal the egg in a quest line. I want to say it's like Searing Gorge Badlands ? I don't remember. We do a thing and we take the egg, right?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't make the connection that it was Rathian's egg, and I didn't know the backstory about, the dragons being able to hear in the egg and understand what's going on. So he hears all these people basically using him to plot to, do all these things and push their own agenda. It's no wonder if he is insane, because if I'm him, I'm plotting the whole time too, because I'm sick of people who are just trying to use me, and that's the only reason why they're protecting me is because they're trying to use me. So I imagine it might have made him a little, like, not Hand That Rocks the Cradle crazy, but maybe like a little Amityville. Because it's two different types of crazy. It's it's a different type of crazy, right?
Still crazy.
So crazy.
Yes, Angie, it was. I didn't know that either. I found that out 2 years ago. The Rathian's egg thing. Okay. So, Onyxia, now you make me want to go farm the mount. I'm not going to do it.
Neither am I.
Do you already have it?
I if there's anything in this game that I care less about than mounts, I don't know what it is. I don't care about mounts at all.
I'm kind of the same. I won't put a lot of effort in. I'll put a little bit of effort if it's a quick.
One that I like, it's a little bit different. But otherwise, yeah, I'm not like a mount collector.
Hippogriffs are the only exception. I love all hippogriffs. I love their models. I love the hippogriffs. Visually, because they're the only ones that when they're flying, they don't make me a little sick, because just the way that their animation is done is perfect, and then their feet on the ground instead of doing that awful hover above the ground thing like the flying mounts do. I appreciate the hippogriffs.
Or visually. How
proto-dragons are inverted body styles. Nobody believes me.
I know that, but I mean, when they're running around, they're like...
Yeah, nobody believes me. They're inverted body styles. Anyway, before we get on another tirade, inverted body styles, we'll talk about it on the next show. Okay. So, let's see. Worst thing about BFA so far, in your opinion? Worst thing?
Oh, the personal loot change.
You don't like it?
I think it is the healthy change for the game, and it's definitely not going to fix any of the problems.
Yeah.
That split runs do. I mean, even Blizzard came out and said that's not going to be a thing. There are still ways around it, and even if I would argue that the ways around it are a little bit more egregious than just having Master Looter. But overall, I feel like there's going to be a weird gap in your raid where you just get behind. Some people get behind, or some people get way ahead in eye level, and you can't do anything about that. And that's just going to feel bad. And the feel badness also couples with the return of some, not all, but some of the raid buffs and debuffs, like Fortitude, Intellect, Mystic Vitality, or Mystic Touch, rather, and like Chaos Brand. Those are not fun when you have them. They just feel bad, but you don't have all of them.
Right.
And that's awkward that there's like 8 classes now that are required for Mythic rating. Got the baseline to have all of the extra exterior.
Are any of them
power.
Destruction Warlocks?
Warlock have none. They have Healthstones.
Yay! And we have closets. We get to summon all the lazy fucks who don't want to go to the portal.
Those two kind of go a bit hand in hand. I care less about the personal loot thing. It's going to feel weird that you could raid for 3 or 4 weeks in a row and get nothing, even when coining stuff, which doesn't feel good. And then you can finally get a piece of loot, and it'll be like something it's not really an upgrade for you, or not the trinket. How many of you out there have been waiting for a relic or a trinket for weeks, and it doesn't drop even with master loot? Now it's even worse.
It's going to be. I guess I didn't think about it from a higher end, because I know that probably the mythic is what's most affected, because I think you guys are pretty reliant on the master loot to push the agenda of the mechanics internally of what your guys' priority needs to be, depending on what.
Usually, you don't want to teeter totter your raid group. You don't want people to be like, 15 people at high level and 5 people at low level. You want to keep your teeter totter even, where everyone moves up sort of together to keep your whole raid getting stronger. And now, because we have less control over that, and again, to go back to what Mike said on Twitter, there's also this incredibly scary notions coming out now that now all raid groups are going to have the, oh, do you need that? And that's going to be really annoying. You'll not have that in organized guilds. You're going to have an add-on. You're going to have some way to like list your loot. You're going to have master looter anyway, but it's still going to be this extra step where on farm, a month in, you're just waiting around, trading around 10 pieces of gear instead of just having it divvied like you normally would have in the past. It's going to feel weird.
We talked about this from an LFR perspective, because sometimes you'll take your alts in there. Maybe you need to do a thing for a quest, or whatever the reason is, you find you want to beat your head against a wall to go in LFR. We talked about how the nature of World of Warcraft in LFR is for players to make you feel obligated for what is on your person that you get during a raid, and if you don't give up said item because maybe, because I go in their heroic geared, right? Obviously, I'm not mythic, but I go in their heroic geared. Sometimes it's for a specific piece that I want visually for a transmog, because I don't leave my order hall unless I'm head to toe on point, right? I don't raid unless all my stuff matches. If I get a piece in the middle of raid,
yes,
it affects my, there's a min-max thing there with my DPS. I just want you to know that it's important. But the obligation that other members in LFR feel towards something that you get, where they instantly, they send you a tell and they're like, hey, can I get that? I'll give it to you if I don't need it. I often will say, hey, roll, because I have this crap that I'm 30 item levels over geared for.
Yeah.
But when you say no to that person, it's not fun. They don't appreciate that. And they're like, you don't even need it. You're heroic geared. Listen, I don't need you to tell me what the fuck I need with my $15 that I spend every month. It ain't none of your business what I'm doing with this gear. I'll sell it to a vendor before I will give it to your selfish ass. That's how I am. But
so I feel like it's a healthy change, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't want anybody to feel obligated to what is mine, but I want to help people. So it's not a wow, Belle, you suck. I'm never going into raid with you.
LFR is like the seagulls on Finding Nemo.
Yeah, I want to help people, but I don't want anybody to feel like they have ownership over something that I receive just because it's also for them, and whatever the reasons are. So I guess I didn't see it from the point of view of the gear though being sparse.
So if you get tacos, I don't have claim of ownership over those, or is that not how this works?
Mine. Sorry. I really love those seagulls. Mine. I need sleep. But yeah, I guess I didn't think of it from that. I was really happy with the personal loot, but then again, I don't rely on it, right?
What if they reverted the lock on it, where it was not like, oh, it's equal eye level or above,
right?
You can't trade it. What if they were to remove
okay with that?
There's really no, because the whole topic boils down to the fact that more than 90% of the game is fine with this change, and it will only affect that many. And even, I would say 95% of the game is fine with this. And loot outside of endgame raids is all personal now anyway, right? So you can spam run islands, you can spam, you can do the Warfront stuff, you can do a Mythic Plus. It's all personal loot, right? And there's trading if you can. But there's no real way to stop the problem, as it would be, quote unquote or not, with how Mythic split run preparation works with 10 or 12 guilds in the world, right? Because very few guilds do that many splits on the highest end. Right. Obviously, it becomes a weird spreadsheet math problem, and many guilds in the top 100, 200 in each region do still 1 or 2 extra split runs. It definitely decentivizes those, and it brings up new problems. And Blizzard's not going to fix those because it affects so few people.
What
I
about
would
the
argue-
removal of the tier gear and the legendary that was not legendary because everybody had them and they were giving them away for free, so it was no longer legendary in my mind. But what about the removal of the tier? Do you feel that the personal loot makes a tiny bit more sense because there isn't the tier factor there, which I guess it could be good or bad compared to... I just really hate that I get a really killer piece, but it breaks my set and... all the other reasons that we have to pass over gear. What's your stance on that?
Removal of tier is a very positive thing. That's a bonus overall. That's fine. Tier gear in World of Warcraft, I felt like has been a tacked on thing for the last 2 expansions, where it forcibly determines how you're supposed to play outside of the fact that you should be able to play how more you want to and kind of characterize that as your spec. But that's fine.
You should be able to collect the
Also
gear
the-
that you want, and you should be able to use the gear that you want depending
Sure.
on what stats you get versus being locked into
The
pieces.
there's still going to be, the Azerite traits are still going to be like, NLC or, 2-piece, 4-piece kind of bonuses, right? That'll still sort of determine that in a way. But now because they aren't, you can target them because they don't Titan Forge, Warforge, or whatever. So if there's one from a certain boss, obviously good luck with the personal loot change because you might finish the entire tier without getting that piece. May happen. But there is at least a more... You control a little bit more of that.
More
part of your
flexibility from the
character.
Azerite site, right?
I think... Well, we don't know how impactful they're going to be. Ian just said there's like 300 different traits on Azerite gear coming, but there's no vendor to test them yet, so we don't...
And is that like total across all classes? Because at that point, it's actually not that many.
Right. I have no idea. We don't have a vendor.
They've actually used that wording before. I can't remember what it was exactly, but they're like, oh, there's this amount of talents being added to the game. And it was like, oh, it's like 2 per class. Okay, cool.
Right. So we don't know a lot about that. I think that the tier removal is fine. It's an archaic system, and it's also a development hell system because they have to keep making a 2 and 4 set bonuses that are better than last tier's bonuses to make you want to upgrade to the new tier because stats were so screwy in Legion. How many specs out there wore last tier or the 2-piece, 4-piece or 2-piece, 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 whatever, right?
Oh,
all that stuff was way...
I had
way
half and half because it was a shit show.
Yeah, 4 and 2. I'm the priest. Yeah.
It's not very... That might be interesting in a game design sense, but across so many millions of players and then the design space to make the next tier set or whatever, it's just
No one has
madness.
time for that mentally. And I'm really happy about the legendary system because I fucking hate the legendary system. And yeah.
Well, Ian...
Wait, there was a legendary system?
No, because
Oh, gosh.
when people say legendary, I think legendary. Legendary should be an exception, not the rule, right? We didn't do that. We, boom, came out of the gate and we gave you a legendary and you a legendary and 30 other people a legendary, but we didn't get the one guy in the corner the legendary, so he's pissed. Then the
speaking
next
of-
30 people.
I still don't have Safiza's secret, so I'm so salty. about
You're not going to need it. Who cares? I'm going to set every legendary. I have all of them for my... I have all of them for my spec, and I'm like 2 away from class in general.
Mhm.
I want to just set them all on fire. I never want to look at another legendary again, ever.
You can't do that, though, because you can't destroy them.
Oh, yeah, you can't.
Oh, shit. You can't? Can I delete them? Can I...
No.
Can I give them...
As it currently stands, they turn off at
Because
level
they're
116.
legendary.
Once they're 116, right? The traits go
But
inactive.
you can't destroy them.
Fuck.
Hope you got
Voice
some in your
storage
voice
it is.
storage.
Whose idea was that?
I have no idea.
Oh, guys.
And Pride Az would actually be useful leveling, but you can't use that because you get Heart of Azeroth.
The only one I
so-
wanted was the
Yep.
Netherlord because I wanted both my eradication and my my empowered life tap, which they're removing in
That's true,
BFA.
they are.
We're gonna be
Life
okay.
taps.
We're gonna make it. Bell's gonna be fine. A big part of my rotation and my burst is being removed, but we're okay, guys. We are okay. We tested in BFA. It's not as bad as it seems. Okay, what is the thing you are most
burst.
looking forward to in the out of all the things? What's the most you're looking forward to?
there's a player response to this, and then like a broadcaster streamer response. I'm looking forward to Island Adventures to do with my viewers, because you can just grab 2 people and jump in, and they're sort of
sell out, guys. We sold out right now.
Well, it's selling out for the greater good because it's interaction. See.
They have like a rogue lightish factor. They're repeatable 3-man dungeons. Essentially, they're not going to have a lot of that. Hopefully they actually have some sticking power, and they're not like just do one a week and then you forget about them.
Right.
Because they're dynamic-ish.
If
right?
they're
Like
truly dynamic, meaning we haven't figured out the pattern that you say was not a pattern. And,
I asked them that directly in my PAX East interview, self-plug on my YouTube channel. But
you have a YouTube channel?
Of course I do.
What?
Yeah.
The hell you say? The hell you say?
But it's I asked about that, and the way that it responded is that the island itself, the weather, the locations that are spawned, the types of mobs that are spawned, the types of encounters that can spawn, and the type of enemies you will fight on there, the other team, essentially, if you're doing PvE mode, those are all different buckets, and there shouldn't be like a scripted-ish nature to it. So you could do dozens and dozens and dozens and never see the same style that you already seen. It will propagate over time, of course. I don't know how deep these buckets are, but the way they made it sound is that the way it's put together is almost that it's
an infinite amount of combination possibilities.
They can always add on to the bucket too. This is almost like what scenarios should have been and missed, honestly.
I love scenarios in general still, even the monotony of them, I still love them.
Yeah, I have the scenario-ness on one of my druids I still use.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, these are essentially scenarios 3.0. So,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you said you like to do stuff with your viewers. I have like 6 viewers when I stream, so I feel like me and my 6 viewers are gonna go do stuff because I want to be like Bay. I don't stream enough for it to be. I hate streaming because I can't pick my nose. There it is. Belle said it. Belle said it.
All right.
It's honestly because I feel awkward. It's really weird because I'm a podcaster and I'm not uncomfortable in front of people. I don't have a public speaking issue. One of my favorite things is talking about World of Warcraft, especially explaining it and guides and stuff like that, which is why I like working with Method. But streaming just always feels weird to me. And you're not getting the best version of Belle when she streams because you're getting the version that is like After Dark Belle. And it's not necessarily the best, Professional Belle's way better. Yeah. I'm going to be more like Bay, guys. I'm going to take Bay classes.
I guess the other one was just that I'm always interested in the systems involved in the game and like how your characters progress. So I'm curious to see how the 2 brand new content loops, how Warfronts will impact that, and how Islands will impact that. In that, because we're keeping World Quest, we're keeping some of the mission table kind of a side thing. We're keeping obviously the Mythic Plus stuff that's all going forward, right? So on top of all of the stuff that we enjoyed, right, and the legendary artifact system has been downscaled, and now the necklaces across your whole class, so that's a way easier. Azerite power, which Ian cat out of the bag probably triggered the hell out of Reddit, so that it's actually artifact power. Heart of Azeroth is an artifact.
Me and Rem got to a big argument about that. He's not happy about it. And I was like, it makes sense. It makes fucking sense. And he was very, he's very upset.
Color. Same color as an artifact.
Yeah, he's very upset.
Power it with, but anyway, that's, I'm curious to see how that will feel. Like, what are my first 2 weeks of the game going to be like? How am I going to gear up? I haven't really done any of the dungeons. I haven't seen any of them. I'll eventually do them. But like, where does that...
How much grinding am I going to do for X and Y?
Yeah, but the grind is fun. That's the whole point, right?
Well, if it's alt-friendly, yes.
Well, the necklace itself is way more alt-friendly than any of the garbage we dealt with in Legion.
That's what I've been telling people. Because really, I think the argument is... I love the grind. The grind doesn't bother me because I take pride in that. And I think you have to work for what you get. So I don't want to just give it to me. But I think the alting... from a higher level was really difficult, especially from a raid perspective too. To especially now with us needing, would you say 8 base classes are a requirement for raid with their?
It's something like that. There's a breakdown. Well, a mythic standpoint to have all the buffs and debuff. I think it's like and all the required bits that are really important to raid. I think it's 8. It's 7 or 8 out of 20 people.
None of them are warlocks. Damn. Blizzard
Well,
can't
Warlock is iffy. Yeah.
My Hellstones.
AKA not needed. Okay?
My cookies are homemade, and they're better than Affliction cookies because literally that's my macro. When I drop my cookie maker,
Don't get your non-affliction
get
cookies.
your non-affliction. I'm a bitter person by nature. I agree. I think the character progression, I think this time around I'm more excited for the story than I am anything else, which is odd for me to even say. I would never have said that in any previous pre-expansion talk. Story would never be what I'm excited to see develop, but I feel like they've done a good job of hooking me in with the.
Really, because I'm not really interested in this story, this expansion.
I think it was time we got back to the Horde and Alliance conflict. I think it's an important part of World of Warcraft. I do.
Horde and Alliance conflict when the whole expansion is leading us toward old gods and void lords. Yeah, because that'll yeah. Sure.
I just want to kill Horde for a while, right? Just a little bit. Let me just get my kicks while I'm young enough to get them, and then we'll be friends again when we have to deal with the old gods. I'm
Same.
ready.
That's fine. Well, let's do it.
Just kill for just a tiny bit.
That's a good balance.
Favorite allied race of all.
Is this the real answer or the meme answer?
I want you to give the real you answer, not professional, Bay.
No, I want the meme answer too afterwards.
And the meme answer is Volpera.
Of course, because it's
not
going to be
happen.
It's going to be the panda-like. It's going to be the
not gonna
panda-like. I'm telling people it's going to be the panda-like.
Everyone always asks me if I'm going to stay Pandaren, and when even Dark Irons come out. And like Dark Iron Dwarves are awesome, and I can be heckin' Furiosa as a female Dark Iron Dwarf. It looks amazing. But like, I don't know. I'll probably stay Pandaren, and then people ask if like, are Kulturian humans going to be shamans and druids? I don't think they'll be both. They already have druid forms, they'll probably be druids. So that's fine. But I don't really have a favorite allied race. I like my panda. I was a space goat since Alliance got shaman back in Burning Crusade, and I did it because armor looks weird on female Draenei unless you only slutmog. Yeah. I didn't want to do that, so I was a male Draenei before the model rework. So help me. My son is very sick. But then I went Pandaren, female panda, because male pandas are only for tanks.
Because they're thick.
They look good as tanks. It's fine. But female panda, her animations, everything like that, it's been a part of who I've been online now for 7 years. So, I think out of the actual allied races coming out, I definitely feel like Zandalari are really cool. They're definitely they have a lot of lore behind them as a race. Period. It's neat to see them roll into the game overall. So
I did have fun Horde side with the intro stuff, and I'm not a Horde player. I'm gonna play both factions naturally because the story is really important that you see it from both sides. But obviously, guys, Belle's obsessed with all things Suramar, so Nightborn is my jam. Even though I'm Alliance, it's gonna be really awkward. But no, they have not confirmed Volpera. But here's the thing, and I talked about it 2 weeks ago on the show where I said, look. Wowhead has been super. I even messaged Perk and was like, look, are you doing this on purpose? They've been super pushing the Volpera in the dressing room, all the customizations. And I'm talking for 2-3 months, they have been just pedaling. I'm going to call it pedaling. And I thought to myself, what if?
On a bike?
Yeah, on a bike. I thought to myself, I said, I wonder if they're doing this as large market research. Let's see if everybody's gonna love the Volpera. But I was thinking about it. How mad would people be if it was one or the other, because the nature of Volpera is different than the other allied races? I think we can all agree Rem doesn't see the difference, but to me, the Volpera seems a little bit more serious when it comes to fighting for who should be. So it feels like they have an opportunity, if they choose to do that, to make it a neutral race where they can choose. I don't know if that's a good prediction, but I feel like if they're going to do Volpera, I feel like that would be the way that they would go, that it would be another neutral race. What do you think about that, Bay?
The only way that Volpera will ever happen in the first place, though, is that we need, not even want, it's that they need to do the actual Goblin VU, because they look awful. They have painted faces. They don't even have eyeballs. They have the old bone structure in the mouths. They look really ridiculous. And they're goblins. They're furry goblins. If you don't know, the Volpera models are the exact same
Right.
skeleton.
Yeah, skeleton is the same thing. Yeah.
And they are the same. And that doesn't matter for having the same style of race on both sides, because we're about to get orcs and orcs, and we already have elves and elves and elves and elves and elves and elves and elves. And apparently the Sand Lane are going to be an allied race for the whatever the heck. They're just elves. They're vampire elves.
Wait, what?
I thought
Yeah.
Highborn. No?
No.
No. Fuck Highborn.
But
Were they talking about Sand Lane? I missed this or something?
it's data mine text.
Oh.
Yeah, we
So
haven't.
that means nothing. It means literally nothing. But
So the Void Elves are the other emo elf. Sand Lane are the OG emo elves, by the way, guys.
sure.
I'm just. Yeah, that's super weird.
But we'll see. I mean, they need those updates first because those models are awful. So
I feel like we're getting a little allied race crazy, and I've been. You guys know
Yeah.
I like to troll the forums, right? Because it's important for you to stay on top of what's going on in the community so that you can discuss, you know. And the amount of people, fuck, you guys have no chill. They just gave us X amount of allied races, and now you guys
it
want
wasn't
more.
the
This is
Highborn,
the
though.
reason Blizzard doesn't give a shit, because we don't know how to just be happy with what we got now.
do you know it's the cookie in the candy jar kind of, or the cookie in the cookie jar kind of thing?
Yes.
If you don't give them the cookie, then they'll accept it, or they'll freak out. And once you give them, then they want another one.
And they are going to sign petitions
another
and go
one.
to change.org.
Yeah.
Guys, Blizzard doesn't give two shits about your
They don't give a
petitions. Like,
The change.org stuff to me is always such a meme. I like looking at that. It's so funny to me.
I
So
physically eye roll, and I'm like, guys, who thought this was a good idea? And then the people that are signing these petitions, you should be embarrassed for yourselves.
It's very, very silly. I don't know why. Because it is that it's really just that, due to the fact that once Blizzard gives you anything, then everyone thinks that if we just keep asking, they'll give us more. And it's not how this
It's
works.
like the kid crying in the store, like, Mom, but I want this.
Yeah, it is.
So before we get to the gauntlet, which is the ending part of the show, I thought that now's the time for us to get intimate with Bae. Now, we like to have these intimate moments with our guests because I feel like...
I don't see any candles.
I know I don't have... Normally, I have my candle. I set the ambiance so that we could have this, you know, this intimacy here. But I'm in the middle of redoing office stuff, and I don't know where the hell my candles are. But I got a bottle of melatonin, if that sets the mood.
Calm down, Cosby.
God, that's so...
Too soon.
So
Too
bad,
soon.
and I can't even bleep it out because we're live. God dang it.
Too soon. Yeah.
Is it too soon, though? I mean,
Not really.
I've been buying your Jello for a really long time, bud. Like, is it too
Coach.
soon? We've completely derailed. Damn it, Rem. Now I'm sweating because we talked about Pill Cosby. Okay, so let's get the mood. We don't normally talk about stuff like that because I try to stay away from there's certain subjects you shouldn't discuss openly in a professional manner because people will have opinions.
Couldn't help it, sorry.
The intro to the show, instead of saying duct tape your children and animals, I changed it to secure because somebody sent me an email and was like, what kind of parent are you? Because I'm totally duct taping my kids to the wall.
I've seen it.
I mean,
guys.
you're not?
I know, I'm like, why aren't you duct taping your children? That's the reason you're messaging me, because your life sucks because you're not parenting properly.
That's the redneck timeout. That's like,
I know.
it's gotta happen.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that one person was very offended.
So what's this intimate stuff? What are we doing?
Okay, so now I want to know your deepest, darkest WoW confession. Now, to give you some more context, I don't want you to say, like, I have an obsession for X in game, unless it's really unexpected.
Ducks.
And this confession has to be something nobody knows. Like, Bajira's confession, just to give you context, is what did he say? He has like another account, another tune, and he does
It
bad
was
things.
another character that he hides his real ID and goes and kills lobies.
He does bad things. He
Yeah.
ganks people, and he does it so low that nobody knows it's him. And he that was a pretty good one for me because I was like, you're like the nicest guy ever, and then here you are with a dark side. So tap into your inner stuff. And I need a confession that is your guilty pleasure that you've never told anyone.
I don't really, I mean, on the spot, because this is like, I don't know if I have anything that can at least, combat Jackson. That's awful. I've known Jackson for a while now, and that's.
I sat when he talked about that with my mouth wide open. I was like, "There's no way." Like, you're the nicest guy I've ever met in life, and he did that.
That's something.
Is there anything weird that you're like obsessed with that would be? Well, what's weird these days, right? Because weird is,
I think it's weird that people think it's weird that I don't care about mounts or collecting stuff in the game.
No, I don't think that's weird.
I like toys in World of Warcraft. That's about it, though. I don't know if there's anything I have that isn't like I have weird. I'm not gonna get into like old relationship mumbo jumbo that came about because of World of Warcraft, because that's a little bit more personal than I think I'm willing to. That's also like way water under the bridge. Blech.
I'm not going to Dr. Phil you, but if it was way water under the bridge, you wouldn't have said it. Anyway, I'll let you sit on that one.
You're trying to let me bring up something to confess. That's the only thing I can think of that came out of nowhere.
I'm Chris Hansening him right now. Nobody even caught on that this is Chris Hansen. Sit down. No, I'm just kidding.
Don't ask Bay about his gray shirt collection.
They're not all gray shirt collection?
They're not all gray. All right. That's just a joke.
Are you sure?
First of all, you misspelled gray. God damn it.
There's two ways to spell it, Rem.
I know.
I spell it the way he spelled it. So there's no like weird little obsession you have? Like, do you have an unhealthy obsession with Murlocs, or is there anything?
I just don't. Ooh, base sexy times. I don't think I have anything to I mean, I have maybe prepared more for this specifically, maybe.
I like to not make people prepare, because then I feel like.
Well, right, of course,
they're
obviously.
Not going to give me the good stuff, right? Do you ERP secretly?
No, definitely not.
I still haven't met a guest that does that yet. I've been trying to find one, because I would just love for one to be like, yo, I do these things.
The ERP thing? Oh, gosh, that's a weird
exciting
one.
Roleplay?
It's exciting roleplay, exactly.
That's what the E stands for, sure. God, such a weird one to get into. I feel like all I've been doing with World of Warcraft for so long has been working around it, that I haven't really gotten into any arguments about it or any weird drama circles. I mean, because the only ones I think of are like work related, and those aren't really like confession oriented. They're just like, they're what they are.
Right.
So like what was it called? This was years ago when I was starting the show, that I was attempted to be blackmailed. I really don't want to bring up.
I've been there too. I've been there.
I don't really know if because there was a blackmailing part, and then there was like legal action being taken against me. I don't want to throw people under the bus for this, because if I name like what the phrase is or the purpose of what the legal action would be, it would automatically make people understand what the bubble is.
Cease and desist.
There was some of that to begin with too.
Did you steal all of Connor for Real's catchphrases, Bay? Because I feel like that's what's happened here.
I don't even know who Connor for Real is.
Oh, you just hurt my feelings. You really hurt my feelings. But it's okay, because you did not seem like the type who's watched the movie. Shout out to those in chat who know what I'm referencing. I've been attempted to be not blackmailed, but like, I'm going to tell people what you said.
Yeah.
Okay?
I have definitely had, I have a folder to prevent with like a bunch of screenshots of things that would expose someone's past if they tried to just be a complete dick to me for whatever reason. And I have nothing really to hide about where the show came from and how it evolved and whatnot. But there was a time where it was definitely a bit, I guess, dicey internally or externally. But yeah, so I have sort of I have like a fallback shelter folder full of things.
Anti-dirt,
essentially. Yeah.
Got it. Like don't they have the Well, if missiles launch, they have the intercepting missiles, right? That blow them up above open water or higher, right? Is that like the same concept? No, maybe?
I guess so. Yeah, that would definitely be a thing.
I've learned a really different part of this industry, and I'm not on Bay level, right? I'm definitely not on Bay level, but it's even in my small corner of the world, it is a different beast, so to speak. So I really can imagine that's kind of but look at you. Look at you go.
Wait, what ways?
All the ways. I mean, I don't know anything that you're not doing. You're living my dream, which is good for both of us because I get to watch you live my dream and you get to live your dream. I think it's great, though. You're doing really good things, in my opinion.
I mean, thanks. I'm the worst. So you know how they say that doctors make the worst patients? And I came from a family of 2 doctors. My mom's a nurse. My father's an orthopedic surgeon. So they're both medical degrees. And so I think their firstborn, which is myself, now makes the worst critic. And I'm a film student, right? So I went to film school.
I would have pegged you for a film student, if I'm being honest. You have that vibe.
And I worked in the industry for 3.5 years before I even started doing what I'm doing now. And now this sort of is a mishmash of that industry. And then, of course, the budding online YouTube, Twitch, whatever this madness is. So I always just say that I mean, it's my catchphrase or whatever that I'm going to read it off my Twitter to make sure I don't mess it up. But it's just a dork on the internet trying to do the thing because I don't even know what it is that I'm really doing because I have way too many ideas and so many ideas that have even just fallen to the wayside because I can't do them.
Like, do I want to be informative? Do I want to be entertaining? I don't know.
There's a lot of, because I also coined, not stolen, Rhett and Link, Good Mythical Morning. They call themselves internetainers because they're entertainers on the internet, which is fantastic wordplay. So I coined an edunetainer because a lot of what I do because of my show, the main product I put together, right, is try to help educate people from, at least in the World of Warcraft space. So
what the fuck do we do on the internet, Rem? I don't even know. What do we do? Would we do things? I don't even know. Sometimes.
We're like a bunch of retards trying to help a door.
We really are. No, I don't. I feel the same as you about ideas, though. I message him 40 times a day about all the things I want to do, and I'm very limited because it's hard to get in and do because there's everybody else is already in and doing, and it's very it's disheartening when you put, like Legion Beta Alpha. I did 421 videos throughout the entire Alpha Beta experience.
Did you really?
I did 421 videos, and I haven't hardly done anything actual video related outside of the show and stuff that I've got cooking in the fire for Method and that kind of thing. Right. I just got it's daunting and disheartening because I'm never gonna be like Bellular. That dude he never sleeps ever.
Well, he has an editor now, so there's some of the load has been split. And
I go to sleep and in 4 hours there's 30 videos on his YouTube channel. And I'm like, how do you? And they're good videos, right? He's a great creator. Good videos. There was a time when I didn't do anything unless he told me to do it in a video many moons ago. But the competition. I have a life, guys. I have kids. I have to put on a bra, okay? But my hat's off to you though for the work that you're doing and continuing to be able to do it. Because I think it's a good thing to stay passionate as long as people have, especially about WoW, because it's very come and go, right? Very come and go with the creators.
Well, that and it's easy. There's a lot of bandwagoning to just hate the game, right? And a lot of the ways you can grow right now, being any type of content producer, creator, recorder, YouTuber, or Twitch streamer, whatever, is to actually hate something. And badmouth it and talk down about it and be negative and even be toxic in some regards because that gets clicks and that gets views. And
then Blizzard loves them and gives them invites to stuff and
a few of the there's
Yeah,
definitely
they
been
love them
some.
and they give them stuff and they bring them to headquarters and they're tweeting pictures of selfies with each other in front of the statue. And these are the same people. I just literally saw them destroy everything Blizzard's trying to build with this game. And all they did was talk about how it's shit and you shouldn't be playing it. And they're playing Fortnite and all these other games. And Blizzard loves them. They love them. They love them.
There's a couple of instances in that regard that are a little bit weird. Yeah, for sure. I don't know. There's a lot of water to tread and a lot of frenemies to have. It's very political.
Very political. I don't play the game. That's why I'm not farther than where I'm at, because I don't play the game. I don't play it. I don't play it at all in any. I don't.
Too much of high school, so I'm good on all
No,
that.
I just don't have the. I am way too vocal about the way I feel, and it's not accepted among a lot of people because you have to be friends but not really friends, but you be friends but you're not really friends. I don't know how to do that. I either like you or I don't. It's just pretty.
Yeah, there are people in the industry that you have to like have face with sometimes, and it's either really difficult or really hard for.
I do that with Belle like all the time. Like,
there it is.
It's true. I'm really difficult to be around or married to or be the son or daughter of. Like, I'm just shit all the way around. I don't even know why I have anybody in my life outside of my video games. Yeah, he's right. It's a thing.
See, bringing up something like that brings up another possible like confession oriented thing to talk about. But again, I don't want to try to make any weird extra bad blood between anything that I've dealt with, because there's been lots of awkward business arrangements or tried to do things together or
business arrangements.
And well, yeah, but I don't want to like just straight up name people.
But I paid you, bae. I don't know why you're bringing that up. Like, money exchanged hands. Like, we are square.
What? My manager? V, what's up? Oh, pull the plug? Oh.
I love her. She's my favorite.
Yeah, I can wrap it up. Yeah, get off the show. Okay.
Shut the hell up because it's almost 3 hours. I love her. She's my favorite. I know that wasn't really her, but I love her. You got a good one there. She's a keeper.
Oh, she's awesome.
Shout out to Zillions. Zillions is my boo. Okay, so no confession, but I think it's safe to say that you've been places and you've seen things and you are a better content creator for it. And I think that that's good vibes. Good. And you do math. Well, other people do math and you steal their ideas. That makes a leader. That's what leaders do, guys. I don't know if you know. That's what leaders do.
Take your ideas and make it.
Yeah, they have people that do the stuff and they just take your ideas. Okay. Do you have a favorite taco? That's the last question. Then we're going to do Gauntlet. Do you have a favorite taco?
This is like a generalized thing, because this wasn't like do you like prefer crunchy or soft tacos?
No, any kind of taco.
Like, do you have a favorite taco? But please don't say you don't like tacos, because then.
Oh no, I definitely enjoy a good taco now and then. I think the way that I eat now makes it more difficult to have said tacos.
Are you keto?
But, I'm a mix between keto and paleo now. Yeah,
oh, you got the cult, man. The cult.
I'm just Homo sapien. I don't know what
the cult, man. The cult. Yeah. It's there. It's fight the power. Eat the tacos. Like, your life sucks without the tacos.
I mean, I can. Just don't put cheese on them.
Cheese doesn't belong on them anyway.
Cheese has instances where it depends, but no. Generally speaking, it's a very specific kind of cheese, which is what's it called? I say it wrong.
Mexican cheese?
No, it's like, I say koja cheese, but that's not how you say it. I pronounce it completely wrong. Somebody will correct me. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's like it's not really cheese, because to me, cheesy goodness melts, right? It melts on your burger and all the things. But you like tacos. Plastic. So
the real taco authority is obviously my friend Brutal. Like, Ryan is all about tacos. Taconia whole brand is all about tacos and stuff.
We're gonna be besties.
And we have a bit of a feud, and we have some stuff that's coming out as sort of the theme of the next season of Epic WoW Battles of History when we kick that off this summer. That it's he's tacos and I am sushi. That's sort of my joke, is that I really enjoy sushi. So that's the back and forth we have. So, but like if you were to think like a taco type, and I think the only ones I think of that immediately come to mind is I really enjoyed the gordita crunches when I used to have those at Taco Bell, which that's just a hard taco
good.
wrapped in a soft taco, right?
It's just as good as the chalupas, the nacho cheese chalupas. I'm with you. Me and you are on that. The shell is it's a crunch but a melt, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm there. Where I have a taco obsession, slightly.
Oh, I don't have an obsession about it, but yeah, I would have to figure out how. Do we need,
I'm like, it's really bad. It's
no,
like
all you need is a small corn tortilla, carne asada or al pastor.
You can't even say half of those words. Quit trying to give advice on tacos, right?
Said it right. Hello with onions and cilantro. Call it good.
Right.
That's all you need. Well, maybe some lime and some salsa, but that's optional.
Oh, tacos are so good. Okay, now
Now I'm hungry.
yeah, I'm pretty hungry. Okay, guess gauntlet. Rem, you got the questions?
No.
Yes, Rem does got the questions. Like Belle passed that buck. Yep, Belle sure did pass that buck. Okay, so the way that this works is you have 60 seconds. I think this sucks for you because you're going to get all the answers right. But that's okay. We've seen that happen before. If you don't know the answer, just pass. As many as you can answer, and then I have my lovely gauntlet music. Tell me when you're ready, Rem. Bay, are you ready?
Is it one at a time or both at the same time?
So he's just going to rapid fire them, and as you answer, he's
okay.
going to answer another back-to-back. So 60 seconds, and let me get this beautiful gauntlet music, I think. Hold on. There we go. We're going. Go, go, go.
How many primary dragonflights are there?
5.
Who created the demon soul?
Oh my goodness. The Dragonflight's Nefarian, specifically.
Why was Illidan originally in prison?
Because he's a bitch.
I mean, I'll take that.
Yeah.
What race is Lei Shen from Throne of Thunder?
Oh my god, a Mogu.
What staff did Medivh wield?
Matiesh.
Name 4 of the 6 Shahs.
Oh god, anger, fear, doubt, and pride.
Who did Thrall name Orgrimmar after?
Oh, Orgrim Doomhammer.
Who are the 4 keepers of Ulduar?
Freya, Memoron. Well, I could say Loken, but that's a bit of a deep cut. He used to be, not anymore. And then
There's some shade there.
Yeah, a little bit. Oh my god, I'm looking at in my brain and I can't say their damn names. Hodir and Thorum.
Name the 4 August Celestials.
Oh god, the August Celestials? August. Actually, that's how it's pronounced in the audiobook. It's Zhuen, Nazao, Chi-Ji, and Yulon.
Who leads the pantheon of the Titans?
This is the last one, by the way.
Oh, that's Big Daddy Beard Boy. That's Norganon, right? Norganon is the
They
beard
both
boy?
have beards, but it's Aman'Thul.
Oh, Aman'Thul is another beard boy. Yeah. There we go.
I'm pretty sure you got all those right, and I'm really pissed we didn't get another fucking Shaw this time. Babe, why do you have to be so good, dude?
And then a personal question. Who is the Iridar boss in the Trial of the Crusader?
Oh, wait. Wait. Fucking
Did we-
Draxus.
Oh, damn it. And he delivered with some voiceover. That's Rem's.
Well, I was gonna. Yeah, I was.
Rem's obsessed.
That Jiraxis comes up on stream. I have the item that turns you into Jiraxis, so you can spam his voice lines. So yeah, so you do like the trifling. You face Jiraxis bone. Like it just like messes up all the voice lines, and you spam them all together. Yeah.
Inferno.
The amount of times we've gone through this entire audio scenario when it's warranted is pretty ridiculous. With triggering it with a certain word, and then it goes through the whole thing, including the voiceover. It's pretty insane. People don't know. A lot of people don't get it when we do that. So I'm glad that you're in the club. You're in the
Yeah, I think I said. Yeah, I definitely think I said Nefarian, not Neltharian. Yeah. So I got that one wrong as I said it. I think I remember that it was his dad, not the Deathwing, made the Dragon Soul. Not I said his son.
Yeah, it was before the process of him becoming actually Deathwing.
Right.
So, but same.
The Earth Warder made it, out of the 5, yeah.
His idea, everyone else said, yeah, let's make it, and then he fucked him up.
I
My answer for Illidan was just a joke, though. But I mean, like, he betrayed his family. That's the real reason why, I guess.
But I mean, it's same.
I am really disappointed in you because we didn't get another Shaw, but we've got the Shaw of disappointment. That was
I
Bajira's.
guess happiness.
Yeah, Bajira's was Shaw of disappointment. Perculia's was a Shaw of happiness, right?
Happiness, yeah.
Shaw of happiness.
Happy.
Zaryu was the Shaw of rage.
Okay. I didn't know I could make one up. That's funny.
There was another one. No, they really thought these were real Shaws. That's why it was so hysterical.
Oh.
Yeah, no, Bajir was dead serious. And I was like, the Shaw of disappointment, huh? And he's like, yeah, in the run. Yeah, okay, got it. Not at all.
Huh.
I should have dug into the depths of the internet and changed the gauntlet for you because I knew that it was like asking you what's 1 + 2.
Bay should have been the Shaw of kettle chips.
Kettle chips are delicious though. Not for nothing. They are.
Well, that would have been something I could have. Yeah, the Shaw of butts could have been a good one.
The Shaw of bays.
Oh, the joke with the kettle chips thing is that like the joke about the gateway chip, bag a day bay, all this stuff is I don't have any snacks I can eat. And yes, I know its carbohydrate count is kind of high, but it's just heckin' potatoes and avocado oil and salt, my dudes. But potatoes have a high carbon or not carbon footprint. They have a high carb footprint.
I have a whole drawer of high carb footprints. Which bag of chips would you like? I have menti of the I have the Cheeto variety. I have the kettle variety. I have the Dorito variety. I got chips for days in here. All over the place in every fucking
That's
drawer.
why she loves that desk because it has.
Honestly, though, I don't eat them all. I'll eat a couple and then I just put them. But I would kill a whole bag of chips without even blinking, and I would not even realize I was doing it. I have a bad chip problem, so I try to not because I know I have that problem.
Oh, I only have just the Kettle brand avocado oil, sea salt. That's like I will do.
Actually, sounds pretty good.
The joke about them being a bag a day is almost because it's factually accurate. I'll order a case of 12, and before 2 weeks is out, they'll be all gone.
Well, I mean, you got a snack, right?
It's true.
I have donuts on the right side and cookies on the left, guys. I know this looks really super bad, but I was 173 in October, and I'm 154 now. 145, sorry. 145. No, 135. Shit.
I was about 270 last summer, and I'm like 218 right now.
Look at you. Yeah, I don't know that I knew. It just happened like overnight. I tried really, really hard, and I got the scar from getting Timmy cut out. I had a gland thing. It was like this big.
Getting Timmy cut out. All right.
Oh, so this gland it was like a weird thing that happens to like 1 in so many million people where it gets infected and they actually have to take it out, the Salvatore gland. Well, we named it Timmy because he was like, Timmy was just like chilling out here and he was just always here. And we named him Timmy. And when they had to do surgery to take him out, I was like, yo, can I keep Timmy? And they were like, no, biohazard, whatever, we're not allowed to give you your own parts. I'm like, seriously, Timmy's been a part of my body for 36 years. Can I have him back? Anyway, so, well, I mean, I like to see people getting healthy, and I think that that's awesome, because I, too, was on the... Gamers get lazy, and I know that, and I have the potential to be, not taking care of that aspect and stuff, so I think that that's good. Eat all the chips you want. Eat all of them, babe. Buy 2-3 cases. And when people say...
Angie, I did lose weight, Kay. The first BlizzCon, I was like 215, and at the moment, I weigh 170. So...
Who? Did somebody say you didn't? I didn't say you didn't.
She was joining in the crew with the weight loss story.
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, I was...
I'm not just like, oh, hey.
I was bigger for multiple reasons, but Timmy in the gland stuff didn't help. But yes, I did. I went from 173 to 135, and I haven't said 135 in so many years that it's still weird, and awesome. I still don't say it. But I like food, so we'll have some tacos if it's in your plan thing for BlizzCon. If you're allowed to have it with your like Weight Watcher points or whatever weird shit.
No Weight Watcher points. I just don't eat dairy and grains mostly. That's about it.
Copy on the Jenny Craig.
Tacos are on the menu. Meat's back on the menu, boys. We're going to take them for tacos. Okay, so those of you that are listening to this on iTunes and those of you that are watching this on YouTube later, everything you need to follow Bay if you don't already, because I'm sure you already know all things Final Boss TV, and I'm not giving you anything new here. But if you are new, everything will be in the description down below. Website, Twitter, Twitch, follow, subscribe, go give him all the love because he does something on the internet. What do you do on the internet again?
The Thing.
The Thing. The Thing. See, The Thing, guys. You should already know this. Bay, thank you for being here with us tonight and being an awesome, awesome guest.
It's almost like I've been talking to people and interviewing them for like 4 years. So like I get the same thing when I bring on other content creators on my show that can just go right after I finish a sentence. So like you keep the conversation going.
Yeah, and then it's like 4 hours later and you're like, holy shit, did we just have a 3-hour show? Yeah, guys, we did have a 3-hour show, but you know what? I don't like stopping the discussion, and sometimes when it's good, you gotta keep the good times rolling.
No, thank you for having me. It was awesome.
I did. I had a great time. I do love bringing of all the guests that I bring on, I do love other podcasters.
In small doses, so it's good.
Well,
that we have
I like other podcasters because I like to know people are going to have a discussion, and I want to have. Yeah. And I don't want it to always be agreeing with my opinion because I feel like it's good to have that, the back and forth.
Healthy disagreements.
For sure. Not all of them have to end with fights in the parking lot, Rem. You pull a knife out one time and all of a sudden everybody loses their mind. Then restraining orders happen, and now
I thought I was supposed to have the confession on the show, not you.
I know. You know what's crappy though? There is no confession from me because I am 150% an open book. I have 0 secrets and it sucks. It doesn't suck, but it's everybody knows all of your dirty, and I
know one secret no one else knows.
What?
When your chair makes a noise, you blame the chair.
Because it is the chair. I haven't figured out how to deal with the leather against the leather. So the thing, I don't know how to make it not do that when I adjust. Does anybody know?
Just own up. I mean, the human body passes gas naturally up to half a dozen times a day, all right?
Shit.
It's totally fine.
Guys.
My viewers don't know all the time. I'm farting right now.
That's another thing. What if I accidentally pass gas when I'm streaming, guys? How do I explain that? Blame it on the dog. That's what I would do, honestly.
If you have a dog, you could do that. I don't have any pets, so.
I did get this.
You can blame it on the cat because the cat.
I did get this set up, by the way, guys. I'm working on it. I just need to do my foam, all my acoustic foam. I need to strategically do it.
Like that stuff.
Yeah, like I need to put it. I think I need to do some up top because of the bounce from the kids downstairs, and I think I need to do.
Could be.
A couple different sides, but I have a ton of it I need to put up. I just moved everything around, and it's. Yeah. So, guys, go follow Bay. Bay, is there anything important that you want to tell anybody to look out for soon that you want to plug, or, now it's sellout time. Sell out.
So, well, I guess the two things are that everyone always asks me about when the second pass coverages will start happening for BFA, because I do the big junkets before the expansions where I go through all the specs. We've already done the first pass, and many things have changed since then. And I'm basically trying to wait and see if the Alliance capital Borealis actually gets target dummy so I can record on that side of the thing. So I don't have to do Horde. I did all Horde for the first one, and it's fine if I have to. But we're waiting for the next build so I can actually test Azerite gear and make a new format for the second pass. So next week or two, those will be starting to come out, and you could be there for the live streams where all the actual information gets compiled. And then, of course, the YouTube videos that I make, sort of a one-shot, soft scripted kind of a thing. Those will be on YouTube. And then I guess the other thing to plug not only my merch, but the people that I work with to make it, Fabelina and Tutron, two of my artists that I've been working with for a very long time, both have new designs coming out. Fabes took about 2.5 or so months to work on, very, very long time. And Toots is probably about the same. Tutron has a sort of a farewell to Legion all over print coming out that looks really good. We got the mock-up today, actually, from Designed by Humans. And then Fabelina's, we're waiting to get some text work done on the top and the bottom of it. And I mean, if you've ever seen any Fabelina art,
everything is stellar. I tried to get her for DitchCon art, and
yeah,
it's literally impossible. But I did get Noxie, which is like, I mean, you're in the club if Noxie wants to work with you. But I did try to get Fabelina also. But yeah, she's Nothing
Both
bad
of you have-
ever. I don't think I've ever seen Fabelina do anything bad on the internet art-wise.
No, her stuff is fantastic. Absolutely. I mean, she's been working with me for a long time now. She has the 6 little final bosses she's already made that are already available and have been for years. The new one is very different and very, very detailed in comparison to the other stuff that we've done. So that'll be out also soon. So, but supporting me in that regard isn't just like, buy my merch. It's that can turn right back around to me being able to do more things with these artists in our little circle.
Yeah, buy us shit, guys, because that's what we do. We buy each other shit. Honestly, like we do. That's what you buy stuff and you support, because support is important, guys. Nobody throws paychecks in anybody's direction. They have to work really, really hard. And honestly, is it really throwing your money away on art that's amazing? It's not really throwing your money away, guys. It's happily giving your money. Where should they watch for that information? The website?
A lot of it comes either on my Discord or my Twitter. So it's just Final Boss TV on Twitter. It's Final Boss TV on Twitch. It's Final Boss WoW on YouTube because of...
Oh, that's confusing.
Yeah, I know. It's confusing. It's just, that was years ago. We couldn't get Final Boss TV on YouTube because it was already, defunct, dead account. But the website right now is going to be being reworked completely soon, hopefully. So the website is sort of a repository. Don't really go to that. It's just like an archive.
Nice.
But just Twitter... Twitch itself will come on live like 6 days a week, basically. So
I'm messaging Zill right now, telling her I need all your links.
Oh gosh. Okay. Yeah, she has them all in a copy pasta, I'm sure.
That way I can make sure I get everything. So, iTunes listeners, Spotify listeners, wherever you are listening from, it will be in the description of the show. If I forget to put it there, go to pwnecast.tv on the uploaded version. For the audio only, you will see it there as well. On the website, I will make sure all of Bay's information and everything. You can stalk him on all the different. Join his Discord. Discord's a thing, guys. We have a Discord. I don't know if you know we have a Discord. Go to pwnecast.tv. Join the Discord. It's new. I'm new to doing things on Discord only. Give me some time, guys. But I got bots.
If you see anyone in your Discord named Gorehowl without the E, just ban him.
I'll do it. I'll do it. 100%. I'll do it. I'm learning the Discord life for the guild and for the Pwnecast, because everybody's like, why doesn't Pwnecast have a Discord? Because I don't know how to work the internet. But I'm learning bots, guys. Bots. All the bots. I'm going to come stalk Bay in his Discord, actually, because I need to be in more Discord servers that aren't the weird ones I'm in. I'm not even going to tell you guys on the internet. So
don't do it. That's weird.
Go find him, stalk him, support him, buy his stuff. If you are going to BlizzCon, DitchCon, I'm hoping to launch the Kickstarter tomorrow. Guys, save your money because I need every penny for this Kickstarter, because we are pulling out all the stops with the Hallows End theme and stuff. And I have 2 celebrity judges for the costume contest, which...
4.
I already told you guys. I told you guys a couple weeks ago it was supposed to be a secret, but yes, Chad is one of the celebrity.
The Chad is great.
The Chad is great. Who, I mean, obviously his fashion, he wouldn't do it. And then Jari actually is going to be
Sophia, really?
Yeah, obviously that was a natural, but I just offered her alcohol and she's like, yes, I'm in.
She's a simple woman.
Yeah, she just wants to be, and I also am going to get Scott drunk too for the use of Sophia, because...
Be careful with that. He is all muscle. You'll need at least $100 and something worth of good liquor to get him done up. So
I got it. I'm going to come prepared. All right. But yes, we do have that in the works, so make sure you guys check that out. Other than that, Bay, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate it. We'll definitely have to have you back on again for more conversation, because I like good conversation. Guys, make sure you follow on all the Twitters, follow on all the places. Guys, I really don't have much of an outro because I am exhausted and I'm tired. I will be streaming tomorrow night, normal time. I'm gonna do BFA stuff, I think. But yeah, we are gonna go ahead and get the hell on out of here because it is way past time. Thank you for spending your hour and a half, 2 hours later with us every week. We appreciate all of the love and support, and we will not
see you there or see you in another time.
See you on another time. God dang it. Hold on. While the outro rolls out, you guys can listen to the sound of my fan because I'm sweating in here. I need to figure out why my air isn't working in this room. Babe, do you have good air conditioning in your room?
I'm in Florida house, central air, so it's always like 73, 74 in my house.
Does it snow in Florida? I don't really know much about Florida except
No.
what I see on CSI Miami, which is probably not true. Is it true? No.
Some of it probably is.